through the preliminaries without all of the background noise. Several things preliminarily. In a moment, the board itself will introduce itself as well as the other panelists. We ask everyone to just be aware that this is a formal hearing with the court reporter, so please do not speak out of turn. Secondly, we expect you to conduct yourselves as if you were in a hearing room in the courthouse itself. So no reclining in bed or in your easy chair. Gentlemen, please take your hats off. Please dress appropriately, and no eating and drinking other than water, I suppose. But also, we ask, of course, that everyone respect the rules of the proceedings, and so that we can get through this, so everyone will have an opportunity to be heard and their case can be decided. We will also hear from the law department early on so that they can give us a list of all cases that have been resolved either through agreement or if continuances are being requested or they've been withdrawn. If your matter is called and your address is called, please pay close attention. If it's noted as moot or moot complied, that means it's been resolved for today. A hearing will not be held on that address or that matter if it's listed as moot or moot complied. If you need additional information as to the distinction between those two labels, please call the office. The administrator will explain it to you. Please do not interrupt as we're proceeding through the list of cases. We have a long list. We'd like to get through it today, and we want to make certain that everyone has an opportunity to be heard. And so that if you're moot or moot compliant, you excuse, you may go on about your day. This is a public hearing, of course, so if you want to hang around until the bitter end, you're invited to do that as well. Okay, thank you very much. The board will now, and the panelists will now introduce ourselves. I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair.
Ralph Pincus, board member. My apologies.
Mr. Tennant?
Yeah, good afternoon. Roger F. Tennant, Senior Board Member.
Beverly Penn, board member.
Ken Washington, board member.
Cortez Patton, board member.
Brad McSherry, board counsel.
Richard Wade, board administrator.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we will hear from the law department, who's will submit the list of resolved matters of continuance requests.
Good afternoon, board members. This is Michael Rullo, RULLO, on behalf of the city, and I will be handling the preliminary list.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rullo. You may proceed.
Turning to number 11, appeal ending 003-669, 1628 Spark Street, appellant James Nelson. The appellant had requested a continuance, which the city did not oppose. My understanding is that the board has granted that request.
Yes, we granted that request because of the nature of the request. Our understanding of the rules, or of the notes rather, is that this matter is really just scheduled for a vote, a public vote. And so we will schedule this as quickly as possible so that we can prepare ourselves to announce our vote in public. So continuance this request is granted.
Understood. And turning to number 12, appeal ending 003-258, 5516 Chestnut Street. Appellant is Joseph Rogers. That appeal was withdrawn by the appellant. I believe that that was sent to both the city and the board previously.
Yes, so noted.
Turning to number 15, appeal ending 004-540, 2855 Janney Street. Appellant Tedco Insulation Incorporated. That was a city firm by agreement with a $300 fine.
Okay, thank you.
Turning to number 17, appeal ending 004-303, 614 South 13th Street, appellant Benchmark Construction Group Incorporated. My understanding is that there is a joint continuance request by the parties, and I'm just clarifying if that was granted.
Yes, that's granted.
Turning to number 18, appeal ending 004-389, 841 South 2nd Street. Appellant is a Naomi Alter-Hayden doing business as Masada Custom. My understanding is that that was a continuance request from the appellant that was unopposed.
Okay, this is a continuous request. Do you, do you know if this is the first or second request?
I do not know the answer to that question. I can ask the attorney who's assigned to that, or I'm not sure if board administrations would know.
Okay, but at this moment, though, the city is not opposed to that request.
That is correct.
Okay, we'll continue it.
Moving to, we'll address these at the same time, but enter the docket numbers together right now.
Okay,
Number 20 through 23. Number 20 is appeal ending 431. Number 21 is appeal ending 432. Number 22 is appeal ending 433. And number 23 is appeal ending 435. Each of these cases concerns 2239 North 33rd Street with the same appellant, Antonin Nemerov, doing business as AYN HVAC Incorporated. Those were settled by agreement, city affirm.
settled by city affirmed. That's the full extended agreement.
That is my understanding.
Okay,
I can clarify further, this,
Ms. Reinhardt, just
just-
put your name on the record, please.
oh, yes, thank you. Michelle Reinhardt for the city of Philadelphia. This agreement was sent to the board, I'm gonna say approximately 12:35. It was just entered into, and it was for $100 per appeal.
Okay, so the setup is city affirm for each one, with $100 fine for each one.
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that does it for the preliminary list. I believe that Mr. Cohen is on and has something to address with number 1.
Okay, just one moment. Ready? Mr. Cohen?
Thank you very much, members of the board.
Yes.
Jeffrey Cohen on behalf of the city of Philadelphia. This is matter number 1 at the top of the list, ending 716. Attorney Stephen Durham is here for the appellant. The parties actually have a joint continuance request due to the unavailability of our witnesses. However, the city also suggests, and this is a city-only request, that we could potentially bifurcate and deal today only with legal issues that do not require any submission of evidence or testimony. And those legal issues may be dispositive.
thank you.
Specifically, oh, thank you.
Now, Mr. Cohen, Mr. Durham, are you prepared to do a bifurcated hearing today?
Mr. Durham, you're still muted.
You're still muted, sir. Mr. Wade, can we help him unmute?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was muted.
Yep.
I'll repeat my statement. I said I'm not prepared. I would prefer that my client be available to understand what's going on. His unavailability obviously is a handicap to me to proceed in this matter, even though I realize that Mr. Cohen wants to argue legal issues only and no factual issues.
Okay. Given that, Mr. Cohen, the board agrees that to the concept of bifurcation in this matter, and we're prepared to do that. But if Mr. Durham does make a strong argument regarding his client being present,
I
any
actually was
issues
going
with
to
that?
make a point about that,
Yeah.
members of the board.
Okay.
Mr. Durham's client is Low Price Superstore Incorporated, a Pennsylvania located corporation. I believe when Mr. Durham says his client, what he means is his witness, either an owner or principal of that corporation. Because it's a corporate entity, it doesn't have a person that would need to be here in order to represent the corporation before this board. And Mr. Durham, their attorney, is present.
Okay. And Mr. Durham, you can certainly make those legal arguments without someone from the corporation being with you, correct?
I could, Your Honor, but again, my client is going to be, but the individual in charge of the corporation is going to be affected by this. And I would like him to be able to hear and understand what's going on. Without his ability to be here, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to explain adequately what's happening today.
Oh, I'm certain you could. I mean, it's a legal argument. You can explain that. You do that every day with your clients. So let's do this. I just want to take a moment, though, because we did have extensive conversations about this in executive session. So what I'm going to do, let's get through the preliminary list.
All
And
right,
I'm just going to ask both of you to be patient with us because we will need to have a board conversation before we decide whether to proceed. We may in fact proceed today, Mr. Durham, so be prepared. We haven't yet decided, okay?
thank you, Your Honor.
So we'll come back to this, Mr. Cohen.
Thank you, members of the board.
Okay, Mr. Logue, you have a question. Please unmute. You're muted, still muted. Yeah, there you go. Okay,
On number 18, which was continued, I just wanted to clarify that this is a first listing, and Mr. Wade instructed me to request a date of April 25th so that I could keep that matter and not have it be reassigned to a different attorney.
okay. All right, well, we've continued it, so we'll work out the actual date with the administrator.
Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, I want to direct the board's attention to a preliminary issue that the city is going to raise on case number 19 on the list. That is the appeal of an AIU violation for Rasdell Choice.
Yes.
Now, the appeal was filed by Christopher Ming, who I don't think has standing to appeal a violation on another man's contractor license.
Okay.
So the city is going to ask that the appeal be dismissed because, to my knowledge, Mr. Ming is not an attorney, and Mr. Choice doesn't appear to be here today, and the appeal was improperly filed by a third party.
Okay, let's just is Mr. Ming present at the moment? Sir, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
I'm present, and I am.
Oh, wait. You're getting started too fast. Are you Christopher Ming?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, what is your relationship to this property, 5557 North 63rd Street?
I work as partner with Rasdell Choice, the contractor.
Wait a minute, say that again.
I work as the administrative partner with Rasdell Choice.
Are you the owner of Rasdell Choice?
No, he's the owner, but
Okay, is it a corporation?
Yes.
Okay.
And in fairness, I searched the Pennsylvania's corporate entities search, and Rasdell Choice is a man's name. It's not a corporation.
Okay. All right. So, sir, are you an attorney?
No, Rasdell Choice is...
No. Are you an attorney?
No, I'm not.
So you can't represent the interests of this this appeal. He has to do it himself or have his attorney do it. So that this is not going to happen.
Okay.
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 So did you submit the appeal?
I did.
Okay.
So what do we need to do?
Well, he has to. If he wants to appeal it, he has to submit an appeal or have his lawyer do it. But at the moment, the current appeal will be dismissed.
Okay, because we are PA. I don't know where he got his info from, but
well, either way, the point is that he has to do it or his attorney has to do it. You can't do it for him.
Okay, if we're an organization, we
doesn't matter. If a corporation has to have an attorney to represent this board, and you have to have authority to appeal something. So you may submit it, but he has to be here if it's his appeal. He was the person noted in the violation, correct?
No, I was.
No.
Wait a minute, Mr. Johnson. He said he was the person named in the violation.
I can show you the violation notice.
Okay, just for a moment. Well, I'm not going to go through sharing. Well, what is it? Who's the violation noted to, and the date of it?
The violation was written to the contractor, Rasdell Choice, at license number 055648. It's the contractor entitled Rasdell Choice.
Okay.
The date of the notice was September 27th, 2023.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ming, is that you?
It is not.
Okay. So do you have a different violation notice that we should see?
No. That's what a violation notice was.
Okay. So this matter is being dismissed. Okay. Mr. McSherry, do we need to put anything else on the record?
Nope, that's appropriate.
Okay.
Can we?
All right.
Are we able to reschedule this?
No, he has to submit an appeal.
Another appeal.
Yeah, if he's timely. Otherwise, if he's missed his 30 days, the whole matter is resolved. Because he misses 30 days, and it has to be the person named in the appeal is the one who has to submit the appeal. You can't do it on his behalf. Okay, that's where we are at the moment. This
Yeah,
this
sir.
appeal has been dismissed.
Sir,
Yes,
before we dismiss it, can I get a chance to get him here?
it's dismissed today. He didn't submit the appeal. Now, is he is if this is a corporation, he has to have a lawyer. He can't argue his own case if this is a corporation. And what you're saying is that this is a corporation. The city is saying it isn't.
Okay.
I'm not sure who's has the facts here. Mr.
Okay.
Johnson, are you prepared to hear this with the witness if the appellant were to be present?
If he's present, I would respect that. I could show the board a search of the Pennsylvania Corporations Bureau that has no results for Rastel Choice, and I would make an offer of proof that shows that they're not registered in Pennsylvania, and would ask if they're saying they're a corporation, they would have to provide corporate documents proving lawful registration within the Commonwealth.
Okay, so let's do this. I will withhold for the moment the dismissal of the case, and we will call it in regular order. If he's available to be part of this conversation, Mr. Ming, I'll give you that option to have him be part of the conversation for the regular order today, but it will not go beyond today.
Okay, so I have him click into this portal, you're saying?
Yeah, and he has to be here when we call the case. It's not been called. We're in preliminary at the moment. So when we call the case, he has to be present.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if he's a corporation, he has to have a lawyer.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's go to Miss Athanasiadis.
Yes, good afternoon, Chairman Woodson.
Good afternoon.
I'll direct the board's attention to case number 2, HA-2023-000116,
Yes.
address of 6006 Jefferson Street. The city is prepared to move forward on that matter.
Okay. Alrighty. We have it noted and listed, and we're prepared to move forward. We will get through it today.
Okay. Case number 3, HA-2023-003224, 2036 Bayer Avenue. There was a request for continuance by appellant. The city did not oppose this request, and my understanding is that the board granted appellant's continuance request, Chairman.
Yes, that was granted.
Case number 4, HA-2023-004545, 8281 Thoron Avenue. That matter is moot.
That's correct.
HA-2023-003773, 2538 South Darien Street. The city is prepared to move forward on that matter.
Okay. Now, Mr. Wade, do we have an Indonesian interpreter for today?
I believe, yes, we do.
Okay. All right. We'll move forward then. Okay.
Case number 6, HA-2023-003903, 8615 Glenlock Street. The city is prepared to move forward on that matter.
Okay. All your other listed matters you're prepared to move forward on, or is there some that have been resolved?
There are 2 that have been resolved. I will just say case number 7, we're also ready to move forward on.
Okay.
Case number 8, Chairman Woodson, HA-2023-003893, 5026 Boudinot Street. That matter is moot.
Moot. Okay. Thank you.
And case number 9, HA-2023-003759, 1352 South Stanley Street. That appeal was withdrawn by the appellant.
Okay. Thank you.
And that completes the Philadelphia Water Department's listings on this list.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Caroline Curley.
Good afternoon, board. Just wanted to draw your attention to matter number 16.
16.
Yep, that is HA-2023-004343, 5049 Baltimore Avenue. Appellant is Joseph Fisher. This matter has been resolved via settlement. I did forward a copy to the board, affirming the city's violation and reducing the fine to $300.
Thank you very much.
And that concludes my preliminary matters.
Thank you. Miss Michelle Reinhardt.
Good afternoon. Drawing the board's attention to number 24 on the list. This is HA 2023-00090 regarding Excel Development LLC. This is an AIU case issued to a corporate entity. I'm not aware of an attorney entered on the list.
Okay.
And appellant has not responded to prior requests.
Okay, is anyone present representing Excel Development LLC? Excel Development LLC. Okay, I tell you what, Ms. Reinhardt, we will call this matter in regular order, and if no counsel appears, we will dispose of it.
Thank you.
Okay, alrighty. Is there anyone else? Okay, the board does have a few matters that it wants to raise. Item number 13, 4212, it's at 1828 Frankfurt Avenue. Contract NE Contractors Inc. is the appellant. Who's representing the city?
I'm sorry, my name is Yana Lobanov. I'm representing NE Contractors.
Oh, okay, that's one reason I called it. We needed to have corporate counsel. So just put your name on the record for that matter, please.
My name is Yana Lobanov, Lobanov.
Lobanov. Okay, thank you. We'll call it in regular.
Mr. Chairman, Mr.
yeah.
Chairman,
Yes.
we may need to determine whether this Ms. Lobanov is a lawyer or not. She stated she's representing the appellant, but we don't know whether she's an attorney, and from the record, it appears to be a corporation.
Okay,
I
Ms.
am
Lobanov.
not an attorney.
Oh, that's what you, okay, thank you, Mr. Pincus. Ms. Lobanov, this is a corporation, so a legal counsel is required to represent the appellant.
Can the owner represent it?
No, if he's a corporation, he must have a lawyer. The appeal documents that you will receive indicates that. It says you must have an attorney. And so he does not have an attorney. Is he present?
He is trying to get in. He's having difficulty to get in.
Okay, he can
He's on the
come
phone,
in.
but I'm looking at the paperwork that I received. Nowhere it says that it has to be an attorney.
Well, it does at the bottom, but the point is this: we're not going to hear this today without an attorney. So we're not going to argue about it. That's the position that our operating procedure that we always use. So when he comes in, we will call it in regular order, and if no attorney is present, we may be able to continue it to allow him to gain counsel.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question.
Yes.
Who is it we're waiting for since she says she's the owner?
No. She says she's representing the owner. The owner is attempting to gain access via Zoom. So if he's, yep. Okay, let's move on. We have an issue of standing in number 25. I just want to address that quickly. And who's representing the city in this 25?
Good afternoon, Board. Dejane Davis on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, Ms. Davis, this is 4994 283 East Bringhurst Street.
Yes.
We just want to know who the appellant, Ira Potter, is not the deeded owner according to our records. Is anyone present?
That is correct. I don't see anyone present by that name or the listed owners.
Okay, so there's no one present. Ira Potter is not present yet.
That is correct.
Okay, all right, we'll call it in regular order then. We'll raise that issue as soon as we get to it, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you. Are there any other preliminary matters that we haven't yet addressed? If not, let's go to the list of Mr. Wade, and we should start with number 1.
They're starting on them now.
Okay, Mr.
Okay.
Wade, you would call number 1, please.
I'm gonna call number 1. There was also a request to hear that case 25 due to a time constraint from Ms. Davis. But
Okay,
I'm
we'll
gonna
deal
try
with that.
while we call case number 1, I'm gonna try and reach out to the appellant.
Okay, thank you.
So case 1, hearing appeal ending 0716 5237 through 39 Market Street.
Okay, what I will do for that one, this is a matter of asking whether we should bifurcate or not. I'm going to invite our board just for a short executive session. Let's do that. Okay, in terms of this particular matter, number ending in 0716 5237-39 Market Street, we're going to continue this matter, Mr. Cohen. Basically, I understood we could have bifurcated and moved forward, but given the moving parts here, we figured it's probably just better to continue it. And it's cleaner that way. We can have all the parties present and ready to go when it's rescheduled.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you, members of the board.
All right. Mr.
Thank you,
Dormer, if this is it for you, you can be excused.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
All righty.
No one else speak to you.
Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? All right, let's call our next matter. Mr. Wade?
That case 25 that was requested to go on,
Yes.
the appellant's trying to join. So we can just go to case number 2.
Okay,
Case number 2, hearing appeal ending 0116, 6006 Jefferson Street, Wendy Blunt.
okay. Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Chairman Whitson, Alexandra Athanasiadis on behalf of the city in that matter.
Thank you. Wendy Blount, 6006 Jefferson Street. Are you present? Anyone present representing the interests of 6006 Jefferson Street?
Blount is on the screen, Mr. Chairman. She was visible a little bit ago, but I don't see her now.
Okay. Oh, boy. Mr. Wade,
I'll
any?
call her right now.
Okay.
She should be on in a moment.
Okay. Is that the individual who's attempting to connect now?
I hope so. I believe so. Ms. Blunt. He was on and audible earlier.
Okay, this is an iPhone that's now muted.
So it looks like it's connected, Mr. Chair. It's just muted.
Yeah. Mr. Wade,
I'm here. I'm so sorry. I'm here.
your
I
name,
am
please?
here.
What is your
My
name?
name is Wendy Blunt. I apologize.
Okay, if you could adjust your camera a bit so that your full face is being shown.
Oh my God. I don't know how to do
Just
that.
just adjust it. Just move it up or down. Would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn?
Yes,
Do
sir.
you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Athanasiadis, do you have a witness today?
I do. The city will be calling Jason Locke in this matter.
Okay, is Mr. Lott, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let us proceed.
Chairman Whitson, regarding 6006 West Jefferson Street, the Philadelphia Water Department went to 6006 West Jefferson Street to shut off service for failure to schedule an appointment to service the meter and radio device attached to the meter. While on site, it was determined that the property did not have an accessible and operable shutoff valve, thus violating Philadelphia Code Section 13-502. Ms. Blunt appealed the notice, and we are here for that today. The city will be calling Mr. Jason Locke relating to this matter.
Okay.
Mr.
Please call your witness.
Mr. Locke, can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, Jason Locke, JASON LOCK.
And by whom are you employed?
City of Philadelphia Water Department.
And is there a particular division within the water department?
Sorry about that. Yes, shut off and delinquency and restoration unit.
Okay. And can you tell us what your job responsibilities are in that unit?
Yes, I'm a assistant manager for the delinquency and restoration unit. Responsibilities are shutting off delinquent water bills throughout the city, restoring waters, meter shutoffs, meter dig ups, non-compliance dig ups and shutoffs.
Okay. And are you familiar with 6006 West Jefferson Street?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm just going to share my screen. And Mr. Locke, how are you familiar with this property address? Have you visited this property?
Yes, multiple times. I was out for a meter installation and we didn't gain access, so the FSR field service rep wasn't able to shut it off due to a violation, cement and curb box.
Ms. Athanasiadis, are you planning to share your screen?
Yes.
It's not showing.
Okay, Mr. Locke, just bear with me. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Locke, this was a document that was submitted by Ms. Blount. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes,
Okay, and can you tell us what this document is?
this was for non-compliance for a meter regulation.
And this document was sent to the property owner, is that correct?
Yes,
And what was the reasoning given for this document being sent?
it was due to unaccessible curb stop.
Okay. And Mr. Locke, I'm going to just share my screen and show you another document, sir. Now, can you tell us what we're looking at here?
Yes, that's a notice of defect.
Okay. And what is the notice of defect stating here?
It's stating that curb stop is obstructed with cement.
Okay. And what is the service address on this notice of defect?
6006 Jefferson Street.
Okay. And who's responsible to maintain a clear and accessible curb stop?
The homeowner.
And where, can you advise where this document, how property owners receive this document?
The field service rep leaves one at the door.
Okay. And what is the danger in not having a clearly accessible and operable curb stop?
Multiple things, plumbing issues inside the property. If a leak was the cause inside the property, we could shut it off. So property doesn't get flooded, nor the neighbors will get flooded.
Okay. And you've already indicated that you visited this property, correct?
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you some photographs, sir. I'll just scroll through. It's a series of 3 photographs, okay? This is photo 1. This is photo 2. And this is photo 3.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Locke, are you familiar with these photographs?
Yes.
Okay. And were you the person that took these photographs?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Locke, I'll direct your attention to photograph 1.
Mhm.
And this photo was taken, Mr. Locke, on November 30th, 2023. Do you recall taking this photograph?
Yes,
And can you please tell the board what we're looking at here?
that's the curb stop box and it's full of debris, water and cement
And where is this curb stop box located?
in front of the property, more towards the curb line.
Okay, and the property at
Oh, sorry, yeah.
6006? West Jefferson
60006
Street?
Jefferson Street, yes.
Okay, and is this a fair and accurate representation of what the curb stop box looked like on November 30th, 2023?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll direct your attention, sir. This is a second photograph.
Yes.
And this was also taken on November 30th, 2023. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And is this photograph a fair and accurate representation of what you observed inside the curb stop box on that date?
Yes.
And can you tell the board exactly what we're looking at here?
You got debris, water and cement that's below the water.
Okay. And sir, I'm going to direct your attention. This is a photograph that you took just a couple of weeks ago. Is that correct? On January 31st, 2024?
Yes.
And what did you see when you went to the property on that particular date?
Same as the previous pictures and nothing was done to fix the violation.
And this is a fair and accurate representation of what you observed at that location on January 31st, 2024?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And whose responsibility is it to maintain a clear and operable curb stop box?
The homeowner.
Now, I just have one more thing to show you, Mr. Locke. Okay. And do you see what I'm showing you here, Mr. Locke?
Yes.
Okay, and is this another letter advising the property owner?
Yes, it is.
Let me finish the question.
Oh, sorry. All right.
It's okay. Advising the property owner that there's non-compliance for failing to provide an accessible and operable shut-off valve at the curb stop?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, Chairman Whitson, the city has no further questions for Mr. Locke.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Blount, do you have any questions for Mr. Locke?
Yes, if I may make a statement and ask a question as well.
No, just ask
I'm
the
sorry.
question. Then you can make your statement later after the city finishes putting his case on. But this is your opportunity to ask questions based on what he's just said.
I was unaware, the curb stop, the pictures that you presented, I never saw those pictures. Secondly, how does, now, and I understand I'm a homeowner, how does a homeowner that purchases a house would know of a curb stop on their property if they hired the proper inspectors to view everything based on FHA standards at the time? How would I know there's a curb stop if that's not something that was inspected at the time I bought the home? Because I was unaware.
Okay, Mr. Locke, I don't know if you can answer that, but can you answer that?
I can't, nah.
And that's
Okay.
all I would like to know, because
Okay,
how
wait a
would
minute,
a
wait, no,
homeowner-
Ms. Blount.
I apologize.
Ms.
I
Blount,
apologize.
wait a minute. We just want to make sure the city finishes putting his case on, then you can share with us your understanding.
Thank you
of
so
things.
much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, Ms. Athanasiadis, do you have any additional witnesses?
I do not, Chairman Woodson, and I would just mark and move the exhibits referenced 1 through 3 and the appeal that was submitted by Ms. Blount into the record.
So noted, they will be admitted to the record. Okay, Ms. Blount, now is your opportunity to share with us your.
Mr. Chairman, I
Yes.
have a question based on this testimony of Mr. Locke. I
Yes.
just want to clarify. Did I hear Inspector Mr. Locke say that the water has been shut off at the property? Was that it, or it has not?
It has not.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Ms. Blount, now
Yes,
is your
sir.
opportunity to put your case on. Tell us why you're appealing this and what you want us to know.
I did appeal. Number one, I did comply with the property in question was a fire, it had caught on fire in 2020. Secondly, when I got notification, when I returned back to the property, I got notification that they were updating the meters. I did not know I was living elsewhere. Once I found out, I did call October the 15th, and a water representative did come out to install the new meter. However, I was advised that inside the home, it required like some kind of additional piping. I went through the process of getting a plumber to comply with what they needed to install the new meter. The new meter was installed. However, I guess prior to the knowledge of them assuming that I wasn't complying with the new meter being installed, I didn't even know the previous one was removed because of the fire. I don't know what the previous people that repaired this home did. Nevertheless, I'm always in compliance with previous meters that the water department installed, and I would have been the same with this one. I was unaware of the stoppage until all of this has happened. I've done everything to comply from when the last hearing.
Okay, wait, Miss Blount, Miss Blount.
Yes.
What you have not responded to the issue of the curb stop. Have you had a plumber look at the curb stop, and what actions have you taken to repair it?
What I've done and what I've been trying to do is trying to get one of those emergency water department loans. I've applied for the TAP program to try to reduce the water bill. I've done everything to try to be realistic because I'm disabled. I don't work.
Okay.
I don't have thousands of dollars.
Ms. Blount,
I don't know what it's gonna. Yeah, I'm sorry,
Ms.
sir.
Blount. Yeah, we need to narrow your conversation so that
I just want to know what I need to
but
do.
you can't. We
I'm
can't
sorry.
all speak at the same time. What I'd like you to do is to respond, if you can, to what action you've taken to repair the curb stop. And so, I mean, that's why you submitted the appeal. You're saying there's a reason why you don't think the notice of violation was accurate or fair. So that's what we want to know what you've done.
I've applied for the TAP program
When did you apply?
in October of 2023.
Okay. And
I've
when did you
applied
apply
for
to
that.
the water department?
Yes, I did.
I said
And
when?
I'm waiting. I'm sorry. October I think it was October the 15th. I was approved for the TAP program. And
Okay.
I'm waiting for the emergency people to get back to me so I can apply for a help loan.
Okay. Now, Ms. Athanasiadis, that TAP program, is that something that the water department administers?
It is Chairman Woodson, but the TAP program is something different than, I'm not sure the emergency program Ms. Blount is referring to. But the TAP program, my understanding is just relates to water usage and based on your income, the highest maximum level like that you will pay for water usage. It's a type of assistance program for water usage and your bill.
Okay.
It does not relate to violation notices or anything of that nature.
But the water department does have a program for people who need assistance with repairs to water violations, correct?
There is a help loan program, Chairman.
Yes,
Woodson,
that's
but
what I
there are
applied for.
requirements that need to be met regarding, getting that assistance.
Yeah. Now, Ms. Blount, have you applied for the help loan?
I've left messages. Ironically, they called me today, but I missed the call. I called back.
So the answer is that you have not yet applied to the help loan.
I'm waiting to apply, but I am going to apply because I found out a lot of stuff recently because I tried to go through. I did apply. I didn't apply yet. That's what I'm going through to try to get help with this matter.
Okay, just one moment. Just one moment. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. Ms. Athanasiadis, not that it's in your purview, but if you can help us with this, what's the general processing turnaround time for a help loan?
Oh, Chairman Woodson, I can't give you a specific date. It has to do with the application being complete, any required information being provided timely. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't give you a definitive timeframe for that. I would also just make a note. I apologize.
I just have a quick question for Ms. Blunt. When did she apply for that? When did she apply for that?
She has not.
No, I
She
haven't
Not at
yet.
all. Not since
I just found out.
2022.
I just
Not
got
since
the
20.
number.
Excuse me, Ms. Blunt.
I'm so
Not
sorry.
since 2022. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she applied for the TAP program, but has not applied for the help loan. Two different things. And she's saying she's had conversations with them, but has not yet formally applied. So I think that may have been where the confusion was. Anything in summation, Ms. Athanasiadis?
Chairman Woodson, I would just close by saying that the notice of defect was rightfully issued. This appeal was initially filed in 2023. It's been over a year. The information regarding the help loan program is available, is listed, I believe, on the notice of defect. And I would just close, yes, and it is listed on that. That was issued back in 2023. And just that the notice was rightfully issued and this NOD should be sustained.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Blount, before we vote, do you have anything else to share with us?
Yes, I just
would-
want to say I did comply with the meter. What's happening now, I was unaware of, but by me being a homeowner, I now have to, from where it sounds like, comply, but I don't work. I'm disabled.
Okay.
So even with the compliance, I can't fix something I don't have money to fix. So I definitely need the emergency loan to help me.
Okay.
And I'm going through that process.
Okay. You did get the notice though, right, Ms. Blount, about the curbs trap? Ms. Blount?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
You did get the written notice regarding the curbs trap violation, correct?
No, the gentleman, somebody put a little sticker. They taped a piece of paper on my door.
So you received the notice?
But that's what prompted the calls. And that's because I'm like, what is going on? I thought everything was based on me not, they kept saying I didn't comply with the water meter installation. And that was the whole start of all of this, saying that I was not in compliance.
Okay.
And I've done everything. I have been in compliance. They installed the water meter.
Well, this isn't about the water main. This is about the curb trap. So there's a.
But they tried to cut my water off.
No, Ms. Blount, wait a minute.
What,
I understood, but the issue with the violation that you've appealed that we're now hearing is about the curb trap. Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, before we vote, can I ask us to go into executive session briefly?
Okay, all right. We're gonna go off the record for a moment. We'll be back. Regarding HA 2023-000116, 6006 Jefferson Street, Wendy Blount, city affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
Affirm 90-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed 90-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed 90-day stay of enforcement.
Now, Ms. Blount, what we've done is to confirm the violation notice and the city's position, but also directed them not to take any additional enforcement action for 90 days. That gives you enough time to complete your help loan application and talk to the water department about the process. Understood?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
so much.
thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty. What's our next matter?
We can call case number 25. There was a
Okay.
request to call that ahead. Case number 25, hearing appeal ending 4994-283 East Bringhurst Street, Ira Potter.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Davis, you're handling that matter?
That is correct, Chairman.
Okay. Alrighty.
Mr. Potter is on via cell phone. He was having technical difficulties.
Okay. Mr. Potter? Mr. Potter? Do we see that name anywhere on the screen?
He is on there. We made contact with him. I'm giving him an unmute prompt now.
Okay.
Chairman Woodson, I apologize. May I
Yes.
excuse my witness, Mr. Jason Locke?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank
Easy
you.
excuse. Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Ira Potter?
Yeah.
We need to turn on
You hear me?
your I can barely hear you, but I need to see your face.
I don't have what's the name? I don't have how do I do that?
Is that a smartphone you're using with a camera?
Yes.
Okay, it should give you a prompt to turn on your video. Start
I
video.
don't I'm computer illiterate. Let me see if somebody can help me. I'm computer illiterate. Oh. It's the people. What you got to do, Liz, sir?
We need Mr. Potter
Hello?
to turn on his video so that we can see his face.
Okay. On FaceTime? What app he need to go on?
He's on Zoom. He called into Zoom. Mr. Wade, is he on telephone or do you know?
He on
He's
the
on an
regular
iPhone.
phone. He on the Yes, he on the regular phone.
Okay, it should
So how
have
you go to Zoom?
they should give him the opportunity if he okay. Do we have any technical assistance available? Otherwise, we'll have to make a different decision.
You have Facebook, FaceTime?
No, we aren't doing Facebook Face. This is only Zoom. Okay, I'm not sure who's speaking, but I need to hear Mr. Potter's voice only.
Yes, hello.
Yes, Mr. Potter. I'm gonna check with the city's law department. Ms. Davis, are you comfortable proceeding if in fact this is Mr. Potter?
Well, I have no reason to not believe that this is Mr. Potter, given that the board staff contacted him via the phone number that was provided on the appeal form. I do have an extensive amount of photos that will be presented today. If Mr. Potter is okay with proceeding without seeing those photos, then the city is good to move forward.
Okay, Mr. Potter.
I'm fine.
But
fine.
before we, I want to do this. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that in fact you are Ira Potter and that your testimony will be the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. But before we even get that far, Mr. Potter, what is your relationship to this property?
Oh, I live there.
Are you an owner?
No, I'm renting.
You have a lease?
Yeah.
Okay. Given that Mr. Potter is a resident, so the issue, this is an intent to cease hearing. And Ms. Davis, so it is the city's position that in fact it wants to proceed with the intent to cease?
Yes, given the fact that Mr. Potter is in fact a resident of the subject premises, we do believe that he does have an interest with regards to these proceedings. Additionally, an intent to cease notice was sent to the occupant of the subject premises, which we believe to be Ira Potter, which he has appealed and is attached to his appeal form.
Okay. Mr. Potter, you won't be able to see any of the images. Do you have access to a computer that you could use?
No, sir.
Okay.
What's the
Mr. Potter, the people in the background
Yeah.
have to be quiet because their voices are interrupting the proceedings. So we're going to proceed. That's probably the easiest thing. Ms. Davis, do you have a witness today?
Yes, the city would like to call Inspector Anthony Williams.
Mrs. Williams, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Place your hand down. Okay, Ms. Davis.
Good afternoon, Inspector Williams. Can you state your profession for the board?
Code enforcement inspector.
And how long have you been an inspector?
4 years.
And can you tell us some of your primary roles and duties with respect to your role?
Basic property maintenance and fire code inspections. I mean, fire inspections. With regards to how it relates to Philadelphia property maintenance and Philadelphia fire code.
Now, Inspector Williams, are you familiar with the property located at 283 East Bringhurst Street?
Yes.
And can you tell the board how you are familiar with this property?
Well, I was there multiple times answering a complaint of an alleged rooming house.
And were you the original inspector on this case?
Yes.
And were you able to get access into the subject premises?
Yes.
And have you had the opportunity to review the L&I records as well as the public records with regards to the property at 283 East Bringhurst Street?
Yes.
Would you recognize those if I were to show you here today?
Yes.
Permission to share my screen, Chairman?
Yes.
Can the board see my screen?
I just need you to magnify it a bit.
Will do. Give me 1 second. Is this good?
Yeah, scroll up to the content, then we'll see how clearly we can read it. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Let the record reflect I'm showing Inspector Williams what has been previously marked as City's Exhibit 2. Inspector Williams, do you recognize this exhibit? I'm just going to scroll down a little bit so you can see the exhibit in its entirety. Do you recognize City's Exhibit C2?
Yes.
And can you tell the board what Exhibit C2 is?
Is the violation notice in order to correct?
And can you state the property in question that is in violation?
283 East Bringhurst Street.
And the date of this notice?
It went out November 29th, 2023.
Okay. Now I'm going to, can you, there are several violations here, but can you provide a brief summary as to the violations that you found at the subject premises located at 283 East Bringhurst Street?
Well, the first one is for the to obtain the zoning for a rooming house. At that time, there were 7 units, 5 of which had different people occupying them, or returned to its last approved zoning that was on file, which was a single family dwelling. The other one was to obtain a certificate of occupancy for the current use that they had, which was the rooming house. I also wrote them to have the fire alarm that was there tested and certified, and to upload that certification to the Eclipse portal. And in various areas there was damage to the flooring, walls, and ceiling. In the basement there was exposed wiring, damage to the kitchen and the cabinet, and there was combustible a lot of combustible storage in the basement, and unused appliances and storage near the hot water heater.
And can you speak about some of these additional violations here?
Yes, we had some the cornice, I spelled it wrong. The cornice on the front exterior, the front porch roof, the windows, there were some windows that were broken, and there was plywood in some of the other windows, and the baluster for the second floor railing. And the cover was missing for the boiler in the basement.
Okay. And you stated previously that you were able to get inside the subject premises to complete your inspection. Did you also take photos of that inspection?
Yes.
And would you recognize some of those photos if I were to show you here today?
Yes.
Let the record reflect I'm showing Inspector Williams what has been previously marked as City's Exhibit C6. Can everyone see my screen clearly?
Yes.
Now I'm going to just scroll briefly before going into each photo, Inspector, to if you can tell me whether or not you recognize these photos here.
Yes.
And just for clarification for the record, what are these photos?
They're the photos from, well, that first one you showing is the front exterior photo. That's the front exterior of the house. Oh, do you want me to go? I don't know.
Oh, no,
Guess
sorry.
what? Just a moment, Mr. Williams. Mr. Potter, Mr. Potter, there's background noise coming from you, so you need to move to a different location or turn the TV off.
I'm at work right now.
Well, this is your hearing, and we can't. The background noise is interfering with the hearing, so we can decide before we go any further.
I'm fine.
Okay, thank you. Let's proceed.
Thank you. And just briefly, the date in which these photos were taken, Inspector Williams?
November 27th.
Okay, so looking at photo 1 of City's Exhibit C6, what do we see here?
That's the front exterior of the house.
And in this right, this left-hand corner where I'm circling, is that the address?
Yes.
I'm going to zoom this out just a little bit so you can see it in its entirety. What are we looking at here in the second photo of City's Exhibit C6?
The fire alarm panel that is inside the house.
And based upon your observation of this panel, was it operable at the time that you did your inspection?
Yes, it was operating. According to the panel, it was operating normally.
Okay. I'm now drawing your attention to this third photo of City's Exhibit C6. What are we looking at here?
An open junction box in the basement.
And based on your observation of this violation here, can you express what possible safety issues could occur with the open electric box here?
Well, all of those could potentially be a fire hazard. We have exposed wiring, even though they are capped. It's still exposed, and anybody walking down there could bump into them or just lodge something. So we like to have those up and covered.
Moving on to the next photo, it is a bit blurry, but to the best of your ability, can you tell the board what we are seeing here in this photo?
The damage to the basement walls and ceiling.
Moving on to the next photo, what do we have here?
It's the other side of that junction.
That previous box that we saw in the previous photo? Okay.
Yes.
And Inspector Williams, can you tell the board what we are seeing in this photo?
This is some of the old house, like heating units that were in the basement that needed to be removed.
And what, if any, are LNI's concerns with regards to allowing these appliances to remain in the condition that they are in now?
Well, it's just storage in the basement. Whenever those appliances or those units are installed, then the old ones are supposed to be removed.
Okay. Moving on to the next photo, what do we see here, Inspector Williams?
That's just some of the storage that was in the basement. It was a lot of storage around the units and alongside the basement.
Moving on to the next photo, what do we see here?
That was one of the windows that was boarded up.
And I know this photo may be a little bit blurry, but can you, to the best of your ability, tell the board what we are seeing here in this photo?
The broken cabinet and broken flooring in the kitchen.
And what are some of the safety concerns with having broken cabinets and broken flooring in the subject premises?
It just presents a hazard to the person that, that's inside. I mean, they could hurt themselves, or, who knows, vermin or anything could get inside of it. So, and of course with the floor, it's a tripping hazard.
And what do we see here in this photo?
Well, that was just the other stove.
Okay. Moving on to the exterior, what are we looking at here, Inspector?
The damage to the porch. I guess that's the roof of the porch, and the front exterior damage out there.
And what do we see here in this next photo?
Damage to the flooring, and I believe that was the first floor hallway.
Next, can you describe what we are looking at in this photo, Inspector?
I think this is when the pictures begin of some of the rooms. I tried to get the different rooms that were occupied in the residence.
And just to
That was one
clarify,
of them.
I'm sorry. And just to clarify, how many rooms did you discover during your inspection?
5 of the 7 were occupied.
Scrolling down to the next photo, what do we see here?
That's one of the other rooms, another room.
And in this photo here,
But that is, I believe that's the same room
The
that
same-
was the previous picture.
I'm going to scroll down to the next. What do we see here in this photo,
Okay,
Inspector
now,
Williams?
that was one of the rooms that was unoccupied. One of the 7 that was unoccupied.
And what are some other conditions? Can you explain any other conditions that you found
Well,
in this room?
we have holes in the wall and damage to the floor.
And what are we looking at here, Inspector Williams?
The damaged balusters to the second floor railing.
And what possible risk or issues or safety issues could this pose at the
Well,
subject premises?
If those are damaged, then you could it could hurt the stability of the railing itself.
Moving on to the next photo, what do we have here, Inspector Williams?
Another one of the occupied rooms.
Now, can you explain what we are seeing here, even though it's a bit blurry, but can you explain to the board what we are seeing here now in this photo?
Exposed wiring in the ceiling fan.
Now, can you explain to the board the seriousness or the safety concerns with the exposed wiring coming out of this ceiling fan as seen here in this photo?
Well, the ceiling fan is a moving part. So, you have moving parts around wiring that's exposed, and that's, it presents a hazard and, could potentially be dangerous.
And what are we looking at here in this next photo?
Another one of the occupied rooms.
Can you explain to us what we see in this photo?
That was one of the, I believe that was the last room that was occupied.
All right, thank you.
And
Moving on to this photo
I believe that was his front door, that front door of that room.
of that particular room.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to clarify for the record. And what do we have here in this photo?
That was a room that was occupied, but it was closed. They didn't have numbers on the door, so it's kind of hard to tell which room was which from the photos.
Okay. And what are we seeing here in this next photo, Inspector?
Same one of the rooms. I believe that was one of the 3rd floor rooms.
Can you tell the board now what we're looking at in this photo?
Another occupied room. Another one of the rooms that was occupied.
I'm going to just decrease this a little bit. Can you explain to the board what's occurring in this photo?
Well, that was just the porch roof, so to speak. So that picture really didn't have too much. The violation was actually on the front side of that.
What you testified to earlier with regards to the cornice?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this time. Now, Inspector Williams, upon your inspection of the subject premises, has the required zoning permit been obtained for the rooming house?
No.
Has an application been filed for a zoning permit for the rooming house?
Not that I've seen.
Now, given your observation of the subject premises, when was the last time you inspected the subject premises?
The last time I was there was on November 27th. I tried to do an inspection yesterday, but Mr. Potter, who I called, said he was unavailable at that time because of us giving him a late notice.
Now, given your observations of the condition of the subject premises, can you inform the board in total, just a summary of your overall safety concerns with the fire code violations that you found, in addition to the maintenance violations that were observed in these photos based on your most recent inspection inside the subject property?
Well, we have an issue with it being, a room house, because with them not obtaining the zoning and obtaining the certificate of occupancy, we don't know if the fire safety requirements are met for the occupants of that house. That's the big one for us. Yes, there is a fire alarm there, but we don't know if, these people have adequate exits and ways to get out of the house in the case of a fire. Currently, when we did that inspection was also done with myself and the lieutenant from the fire department. So, he and I both walked through there together.
And based upon your inspection of the subject premises, what was your ultimate decision with regards to the cease that is in question here today?
Well, with discussion with with the lieutenant and with my supervisor, who was also there, we decided to do a 35-day intent to cease for this property, for the zoning and for the certificate of occupancy.
All right, thank you, Inspector Williams. I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Potter, do you have any questions of the inspector?
Yes, I have a question for the inspector, because yesterday when he called me, he told me he was satisfied with the things that
What is your question? What is your question?
Was my question?
Yes.
He told me that he was satisfied with what he's seen. So for the inspection, I didn't have to, because he was satisfied with it. Not that I wasn't available. He said he was satisfied with the ruling that he had. If he'd have came and inspected the day, yesterday, whatever, he'd have seen that it's totally different.
Okay, Mr. Potter, what is your question to Mr. Williams there? I'm not sure I hear a question.
I don't have none. I don't have any.
Okay. All right. Mr. Potter, Miss Davis, do you have any additional witnesses?
No. I do not. Just have
Okay.
closing
Mr. Potter,
arguments
now
whenever
you
the board is
submitted the
ready.
appeal. What is your appeal? What do you want to share with us?
My appeal is that my family and I live there. It's no rooming house. I don't know where he's getting this rooming house for my family, and I live there. I have my family members and two of my friends that live there. I live there myself, so I don't see how it's 5 people in that house. So I don't see how it's anything that's wrong when it's 5 people in the house. I can see if I had 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people, but I don't. It's just 5 of
Okay.
us.
Well, okay, so you said there are 5 people in the house, and how many of the people
Yeah.
are related by blood?
3.
3? Okay, and the
Yeah.
other 2 are not related to anyone else in the house?
No.
Okay. In terms of the whose name is the lease in, yours or someone else's?
It's in mine. It's in mine.
Okay, and you leased the whole house?
Yes.
Did you submit a copy of your lease with your appeal?
No, I didn't. No, sir.
What other information or
They didn't
evidence?
they didn't ask me for a
Yeah,
lease.
but
So
you
if I
know,
can-
wait,
I
Mr.
can-
Potter,
Mhm.
wait a minute.
Yes.
This is your
Yes.
appeal, so you are wanting
Yes.
to convince us that it is not a rooming house. So what evidence do you have?
With evidence that I had that my family stays there.
Okay, how do you prove that?
Well, I can bring some documents down saying that my family or whatever. That's my
Well,
family, and I stay
It
there.
would have been the time to submit those documents was when you submitted your appeal. You could have submitted a copy of your lease for the
This is my
property.
first time ever dealing. This is my first time ever dealing with something like this.
Okay,
So I didn't
all right.
know if you asked me for my lease. I'd have presented then when he came to the house to inspect the house. And he
Okay,
didn't ask me for a lease.
okay, all right. Now, Mr. Potter, in terms of maintenance of the property, who's responsible for that? What does your lease require? Is it you as the resident, or is the homeowner
The maintenance
responsible?
the homeowner is responsible for the maintenance of the house, like whatever he's responsible for it.
Okay,
Mr. Jared Holland.
okay. And he has all these violations that he hasn't corrected.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
But we didn't. They just sent the violations instead of Mr. Williams telling me I can appeal it. I could have got him the violations. I could have got that taken care of if he'd have gave me the violations. He said there's no sense to giving me the violations when since I'm there. He said the appeal, and if he'd have gave me, like I said, the violations, I'd have had the violations corrected by now.
the violations went to the owner, and the owner is responsible for taking care of that. They have them.
Okay, I never knew that he had them because he never told me that he had them. He just told me that every day that I didn't file the appeal, he would be fined $300 a day. That's what he told me. He never told me that he did receive the violations.
Okay. Do you have any other information you want to share with us?
No, I just don't want my family and myself put out in the streets.
Okay. Mr. Williams, question for you. What evidence do you have that this is a rooming house and not a single family rental?
Well, the first day that we went there, we spoke with a gentleman who said he works there. He identified himself as Mr. Jefferson, and he said that he would get Mr. Potter, who he identified as the person in charge or the owner. As we were walking around, we did the inspection with Mr. Potter, with both Mr. Potter, myself, my supervisor, and the fire department lieutenant. At no time during that time did he say all these people were his relatives. We went to every room, and you know, each room was set up like, you know, a person that lived in that room.
Okay. Were there multiple kitchens?
No, there was one kitchen.
One kitchen? How many bathrooms?
One, but I believe there were two bathrooms, one on each, one on the second and one on the second and one on the third.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question for Inspector Williams. Yes, I do.
Okay, Mr. Tennant.
Yeah, Inspector Williams, were each individual doors to these tenants, were they padlocked?
Yes,
doors?
Yes, a couple of them were they weren't padlocked at the time that we were there, but they had the apparatus to be locked.
Thank you.
Mr. Washington?
Yeah, just real quick, Mr. Williams, are there any utilities on in that property?
Yes.
How many meters is it? Electric meter, gas meter?
I do not recall. I do not recall. I didn't see a bunch. I mean, I don't recall how many there were.
Okay, but you did determine that it was a rooming house because each room was set up like an individual abode.
Yes.
No more questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything? If not, Ms. Davis?
Chairman, if I may, I do have just one brief question, a few questions for Mr. Potter.
Okay, Mr. Potter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Potter. So
how you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing all right. I just have a few questions for you today.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you filed your appeal, you were aware that you had to state a reason for your appeal, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did, in fact, state a reason on your appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, to be clear, when you stated the reason for your appeal, you made no mention of anyone else living in the subject premises, correct?
I think I did put, no, ma'am, I did. I thought I put my family and myself. That's my fault.
Now, does I would be homeless sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Okay,
Chairman.
thank you. All right.
Just a brief argument.
Yes. Mr. Potter, do you have any final comments before we vote? And after which the city's lawyer will have an opportunity for final comments.
Yes. It was no door padlocked, nor any room that he couldn't get into. So I don't know why Mr. Williams is saying these things. There's no room that he couldn't get into. That there was no padlocks on the doors. So he got in 7 rooms in there. He got into all 7. So I don't know why he's saying that it's a rooming house. He got in every room on the premises, and it is only 5 occupied, and the rest of them was unoccupied. So how can that be a rooming house? I really don't understand. When it's my family and myself that stay there, I really don't understand. I don't want to see my family and myself and the 2 friends get put out in the street. I really don't understand this. I really don't.
Okay.
I've
Mr. Williams.
been there for 7 years. Never had this problem. Never had this problem at all. I've been there for 7 years. Never have I ever had this problem.
Okay. Mr. Potter, obviously someone submitted a complaint. That's what brought the inspector. But I would have a question for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, do you believe this property meets the standard for habitability, or is it uninhabitable?
I don't believe it's uninhabitable. It's just, a concern with regards to the fire safety.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr.
no
Chair, I
problem.
just wanted to just back. Did you say the fire safety, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
So you are stating that the alarm system in there doesn't work?
Well, no, the alarm system was operable. There wasn't a current certification on there. But with regards to, that many people and getting out of the house and things like that, with regards to how we wrote it, with how we wrote it regarding the zoning, that will require them to get a certificate of occupancy for that use that they're currently using as.
Even if his family in there, he would have to get a certificate of occupancy?
No,
And
he wouldn't have to
living
get.
there, he's living there and he's saying his family is in there?
He wouldn't have to get that if that was his family, but at that time, he did not say that. We walked around with Mr. Potter at that time, and he said that, some of these people were his family, some of the people weren't. And I said, okay, well, that's, up for debate.
Yeah.
And here we are.
No more questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Anyone else have anything?
Yeah, I do. Inspector Williams, that fire alarm system that was installed there, Miss Davis, I don't think you have to bring the photos back up, but is that a fire alarm system that you would install in a residential single-family home where you and your family lived?
Normally, it is not something we find in a single-family home.
All right. And is there any particular reason that the fire department personnel was doing the walk with you? Anything that prompted them to come with you or come out?
Well, because I asked them to aid me in this, because it was when we met with Mr. Jefferson and with the complaint, it listed some, that it was a rooming house, and he and I worked together with other rooming houses. So I just wanted him to walk through with me just to make sure that the fire safety was okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Davis, final argument?
Yes.
I have a question for
Yeah.
Inspector Williams. Does that fire system that Mr. Tennant was just alluding to, does that in a sense have detectors in each room in the house? Or it looked like it had a lot of lights and panels. So, and you said this is not a typical, and I have fire detectors in my house. Was this a system that was set up for units in each of the rooms, to your knowledge or observation?
It did seem like it was a good system for a single family dwelling. They did have, I believe, I didn't write for detectors, so I believe they had them in the rooms and on the levels. It was a good system.
Thank you. But a system that was appropriate if you were having a rooming house, you would have detectors in each of the rooms in the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else from anyone, Ms. Davis?
Yes, thank you, board. So we are here today due to the violations found at 283 East Bringhurst Street. Basically, we are here due to an intent to seize for an illegal rooming house. Based on the testimony that was given by Inspector Williams today, in addition to the photos, it is clear that this property is operating as a rooming house. And if I may just briefly share my screen.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
As Inspector Williams has stated in his testimony and after questioning from the board, that there were several rooms with padlocks on them. I'm just going to briefly show you each of those rooms with the padlocks. This is another room with a padlock. There's now a third room with a padlock. There is also another room here with a padlock. The fact that Inspector Williams had access to be able to enter these rooms does not negate the fact that this home is in fact operating as a rooming house. The burden was on Mr. Potter today to prove as to why these violations are valid or not valid. He has presented no piece of evidence whatsoever, either to his appeal form or before the board, to demonstrate that the individuals that are in fact living in the home are his relatives or not. In fact, through his own testimony, he has also stated that there are other people living there that are not his relatives. Given the conditions of the property and the concerns of LNI, as well as the fire department with the fire codes that were found at the subject premises, and the fact that this property is not zoned as a rooming house, there's been no application to begin the process of getting the appropriate zoning for this rooming house. The city asks that you rule and city affirm.
Thank you. Is there nothing else from anyone? We will then call the
Yes.
vote. I'm sorry. That Mr. Potter, you had something else?
Yes, it's not a rooming house. I don't know where they're getting that from. It's not a rooming house. I stay there, and 4 other members stay there. So I understand where they're getting this rooming house at. When I purchased the property, not purchased it, when I rented the property, that stuff was already there. It was no locks on the door at all. So I don't understand it. The pieces was there, but since then I had removed everything because I don't want my family and I to be in the street. I removed everything from there. I did. So I was like that when I don't know where you get it from this rooming house. It's not.
Okay. Well, thank you. Mr. Potter, it's the rooming house is an issue in terms of zoning based on what the city has presented. Also, the physical condition of the property is a problem. Yes, some major code violations interior in the property that the homeowner
I have no problem.
Wait,
Okay,
sir, you
excuse me,
can't.
I have no problem. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The homeowner is responsible for making those repairs unless your lease requires you to do it. But you told me your lease says that the homeowner is supposed to do that. So whoever's responsible had some major code violations, and this has been known to all the parties for quite some time. This isn't just happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
we're in the midst of starting the vote.
really-
So, Mr. Potter, the case is done. We're now starting the vote. Okay, we're going to make a decision.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Alrighty. HA-2023-004994 283 East Bringhurst Street, Ira Potter, City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirm.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Mr. Potter, the vote is unanimous, city affirmed, which means the city's position holds and you've lost your appeal. You can appeal our decision if you'd like. If you need information as to how to appeal our decision, call the number on your notice and speak with someone in the administrator, and they will be able to give you information if you need it to submit an appeal. Thank you, Search. You may be excused.
So how would I go ahead and get to appeal this decision?
That's what I just said to you. You didn't listen to me. The letter notice that you received has a phone number for the administrator's office for this board. Call that number.
Okay.
Okay. That's where you would follow up with an appeal from this point. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
How long do I have to?
Sir, look at that number and look at that letter. They will help you understand that. I think it's 30 days, but that's where you get the questions answered. I have to move on to other cases.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Chairman, if
Yes.
before, the board proceeds, the city just requests to have exhibits 1 through 9 enter into evidence.
Okay, 1 through 9, so noted, as submitted.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
that concludes my business for the day. May I
You
be-
excuse.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade, where are we now?
Mr. Chair, we're up to case number 5 that has an Indonesian interpreter. However, case 10 has a detective from the Philadelphia Police Department, and I don't believe the appellant is here.
Okay, let's go to 10 and get the,
All right, this is
call
case,
that one.
case number 10, hearing appeal ending 0643, 2000 Valletta Street, Antonio Ortega, and service was made.
Good
Okay.
afternoon. This is Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, Antonio Ortega. Anyone present? Antonio Ortega. No one is responding. Mr. Pincus, what time do we have? Is he muted?
Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
Mr.
It is
Pincus, you're
2:30.
muted.
I'm sorry, 2:34 PM.
2:34 PM. Okay. And what is your preference, city? Mr.
The
Johnson?
city is humbly asking the board to mark the case as city affirmed failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. We uphold the board regarding HA 2023-000643, 2000 Valletta Street, Antonio Ortega, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed failure to appear.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. I think that's been
And
resolved.
and Detective Berner can be dismissed.
Yes, city detective, you excuse.
Thank you
Have a
so
good day.
much.
All right, that brings us to case 5,
Yes.
hearing appeal ending 3773, 2538 South Darien Street.
Good afternoon, Chairman Woodson, Alexandra Athanasiadis on behalf of the city. And my witness will be Richard Daly in this matter, and I saw him on screen. I just want to make sure he's still on, sir.
Okay.
You want to introduce the Indonesian interpreter?
Yeah, is that person's the interpreter present?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like the person to identify himself. Okay,
Hi.
sir. Sir, would you put your name on the record, please?
My name is Daisy.
Okay, your
My
last
name is
name is
Daisy, and my name is Daisy. Last name is Ningse, and as an Nancy, I as in India, and as an Nancy, G as in golf, S as in Sam, I as in India, 8 as in hotel.
okay, and Nancy Daisy is your first name.
Daisy is my first name.
Okay, you're the Indonesian interpreter.
Correct.
Okay, now would you raise your right hand because I need to have you swear that you will faithfully translate between English and Indonesian. Which language are we using?
In Indonesian.
Okay, the English, Indonesian, and Indonesian to English for purposes of this case. Understood? Do you swear affirm?
I do.
Okay, now what I'd like you to do is from this point forward to interpret everything that's said in English so that our appellant can understand what's the proceedings, and everything that's said in Indonesian, you will repeat to us in English. Understood?
Will do.
Okay, thank you. So,
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry for the interruption. This
Yeah.
is the reporter. I'm afraid I did not clearly get the interpreter's last name. Could she please just spell it again, please?
yes, ma'am, would you do that? Please say it and then spell it again, okay?
My last name is Ningse, N as in Nancy, I as in India, N as in Nancy, G as in golf, S as in Sam, I as in India, 8 as in hotel.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade, would you call the case again, please, so that it can be interpreted?
Case number 5, hearing appeal ending 3773, 2538 South Darien Street.
Interpreter?
Kasus nomor 25 untuk di 2237 South Darien Street.
Mr. Wade, is that everything?
There's an appellant name. I could spell it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Primary
we're
appellant.
here. I don't know if you could hear us or they.
No,
unmuted.
please, sir. No. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought she was about to interpret. My apologies.
No. Mr. Wade, just for purpose of the record, we'll need to put the name on the record. So if you would spell it if need be, and then
I'll do my
an
best and
interpreter.
the interpreter can.
Yes.
Primary appellant, Ajin Grandite, Wardani, Fanu, Ardenashai.
Amramsyah, nama yang menjadi menaikkan banding adalah Ajeng Raditya Wardani FNU Amramsyah.
Ya,
Okay.
FNU Amramsyah. Ya, saya Ajeng Raditya Wardani.
I am the Ajeng Raditya Wardani.
Okay. Interpreter, would you pronounce the last names of the two appellants for us, please, so that we may hear it again?
Spell it Wardani,
Wardani?
W, A as an apple, R as in Robert, D as in dog, A as an apple, N as in Nancy, I as in India.
Okay. And the other person?
Amramsyah. So A as an apple, N as in Nancy, R as in Robert, A as in apple, M as in mama, S as in Sam, Y, A as an apple, H.
Okay, interpreter, we have a problem. The name that's on my sheet is spelled the following: A, R, D is in David, I is in India, A, N, S, Y, A, H.
Hold on, I missed some letter. Will you be able to spell it for me again, Your Honor?
Actually, if I could interject, you said that there are two. There's only one appellant.
There are two appellants on my form. That's why we got to legally
Ini ada
figure that out.
dua. Ada
I have
dua
no-
orang yang mengajukan banding. Yang satunya siapa? Kata
Mr. Wade, am I correct that there are two appellants?
One.
apakah dia menanyakan apakah benar ada dua yang naik banding?
On the list there is, let me check the case.
And Mr. Chair, just a quick question. Is the other gentleman sitting with the appellant a lawyer?
I am
Well,
not.
that's what we're going to get to
Dia
that in a
cuma
minute.
menanyakan siapa yang duduk persis sebelahmu itu pengacara atau bukan.
Okay, we're going to set the rules of the road in a minute. I just want to make sure we have the right people in the room.
Sebentar lagi kita akan membicarakan masalah itu.
No, I believe it's just the first. The second name is not on the original appeal.
Okay, so this instance then
Jadi cuma
Wardani
ada
is the
satu.
appellant.
Cuman ada satu yang naik banding, tidak ada dua nama.
Ya, saya.
Yeah, me.
Okay, all right. So this is how we will proceed.
Ini bagaimana kita akan menjalankannya.
The city water department will put on a witness and give the facts of the case.
Dari pihak kota akan memberikan saksi mata dan kenyataan-kenyataan yang ada untuk memajukan kasus ini.
And after which the appellant, Ms. Wardani, can cross-examine the witness, and after which she can put on her case.
Kamu boleh menanyakan eksaminasi, menanyakan sesuatu dengan saksi mata yang ada, bukti-buktinya. Kamu kalau ada pertanyaan silakan. Setelah itu nanti kita akan menjalankan kasusnya.
And also, just for sake of clarity and simplicity, the other gentleman I see on the screen is not permitted to speak directly to the case. So, sir, please do not speak out.
Dan juga boleh dibicarakan itu orang yang ada di sebelahmu itu, pria yang ada di sebelahmu, itu tidak dibolehkan berbicara secara langsung di kasus ini. Jadi tolong meminta dia untuk tidak berbicara.
We have a court reporter who must record every person who speaks. So only one person can speak at a time.
Kita punya reporter yang ada di sini yang akan merekam semua pembicaraannya dan cuma dibolehkan satu orang berbicara.
Okay. Now, Ms. Wardani, please raise your right hand so that you may be sworn.
Tolong angkat tangan kanannya supaya bisa disumpah.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give today will be the truth, so help you God?
Bolehkah kamu mengatakan bahwa semuanya akan dikatakan secara benar di bawah sumpah Tuhan?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Athanasiadis, do you have a witness?
Yes, Chairman
Dia
Whitson,
menanyakan apakah ada saksi mata.
the city would be calling Mr. Richard Daly in this matter.
Kota memanggil Richard Daly untuk masalah ini.
Mr. Daly, are you present?
Yes.
Dia menanyakan apakah orangnya ada di sini.
Okay, I don't see a Mr. Daly. I don't see him.
I'm using my supervisor's computer, so it's me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry
Mr.
about
Wade, can we change that title on that?
What's his name?
Richard Daly, D-A-L-Y.
Okay.
Mr. Daly, raise your right hand so that you may be sworn.
Dia cuma menyumpah dia sekarang.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
I do.
Apakah semua yang akan dikatakan akan benar dan di bawah nama Tuhan?
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Athanasiadis, please proceed.
Dia meminta untuk dimulai.
Good afternoon. This matter is before the board.
Selamat siang, ini adalah yang ada di depan saya, masalah kasus ini.
Because on July 31st, 2023, the Philadelphia Water Department received a call.
Oke, pada tanggal 31 Juli tahun 2023, pihak bagian air menerima telepon
From a resident for water in cellar.
Karena dari salah satu penduduk di situ karena ada air genangan di selarnya.
During its investigation, it was determined that the cause was a leak.
Dari situ ditemukan dari penyelidikannya ditemukan sebabnya adalah kebocoran.
On the water service pipe belonging to 2558 South Darien Street.
Karena ada kebocoran dari pipa yang di rumah dimiliki oleh penghuni rumah di 2538 South Darien Street.
Due to safety concerns, water service was shut off.
Karena dari itu, karena berdasarkan keamanan, airnya diputus.
An appeal was filed on September 6, 2023 by property owner Ajin Gatria K. Wardani.
Setelah itu pada tanggal 6 September tahun 2023 diajukan naik banding oleh pemilik rumah Ajeng Raditya Wardani.
Alleging need to open main water valve fixed in the middle of the road under asphalt. That is a direct quote from the appeal.
Kamu mengatakan bahwa itu kebocoran dari depan rumah dan mestinya kesalahan dari pihak air.
Re-inspections were performed on August 18th, 2023.
Diinspeksi lagi pada tanggal 18 Agustus tahun 2003.
September 18th, 2023, and November 9th, 2023, and the requisite repairs have not been made.
Tanggal 18 September tahun 2023 dan September 9 tahun 2023, tetapi tidak ada perbaikan yang dilakukan.
The city calls Crew Chief Richard Daly, who issued the notice of defect.
Dan kota memanggil Tuan Daly untuk melihat kembali kerusakannya.
That was issued on August 2nd, 2023 for leak on water service pipe between 1 and 4.
Dan itu dikatakan pada bulan Agustus tanggal 2 tahun 2023, kebocoran adalah dari pipa nomor 2 dan nomor 4.
And the city would be calling Mr. Daly at this time.
Saat ini saya ingin memanggil Tuan Daly sebagai saksi matanya.
Mr. Daly, can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, Richard Daly. It's R-I-C-H-A-R-D D-A-L-Y.
Circulation, lymphatic drainage, alleviate soreness, and reduce swelling.
Interpreter?
It wasn't me.
No, I'm saying you need to interpret what he
Oh.
just said.
No, I'm sorry. I got distracted by the background noise. There
Okay.
is a background noise. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Richard Daly, D-A-L-Y.
Namanya Richard Daly, namanya
Itu
Richard
siapa?
Daly.
Itu siapa?
Who are you?
Chairman Woodson, just, there seems to be someone on screen that's not muted, and it's possible that that's where the background noise is coming from. Miss
Okay.
Cynthia Hadaway.
Okay, Mr. Wade, would you take care of that, please?
I got it. I apologize.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, this is the interpreter speaking. Miss Wardani asks, who are you?
I am
Well,
crew chief.
no, wait, that isn't how this happens. She doesn't get to ask any questions until she's called on. In the meantime, we'll follow the procedure. Please share that.
Kamu untuk saat ini tidak boleh menanyakan pertanyaan. Kamu jalankan dulu apa yang ada. Nanti setelah waktumu bertanya, kamu boleh bertanya.
Oke.
Ms. Athanasiadis, please proceed.
Mr. Daly, by whom are you
Dia
employed?
menyilahkan untuk berbicara.
The City of Philadelphia Water Department.
And how long?
Dari,
I apologize.
I'm sorry. Dia cuma menanyakan dia itu siapa. Dia adalah orang dari Philadelphia Water Department.
And how long have you been employed by the Philadelphia Water Department?
Sudah berapa lama dia
21
bekerja
years.
di Philadelphia Water Department? I'm sorry, I missed that.
21 years.
21 tahun.
And what is your current job title?
Saat
Water
ini dia
distribution,
menanyakan
crew chief.
siapa dia, kerjaannya apa. Dia adalah atasan dari pemeriksaan inspeksi air.
Mr. Daly, I know this is a little complicated with an interpreter, but you have to be patient and don't respond until the interpreter has actually stated the question. Okay? Please proceed.
Dia cuma memberikan saya waktu, meminta untuk memberikan saya waktu berbicara, untuk menerjemahkan.
And what is your current job title?
Dia menanyakan lagi
Water
pekerjaannya
distribution
apa.
crew chief for South Philadelphia.
Mr. Daly, let the interpreter interpret my question, sir, before you begin answering.
Please re-ask the question, Ms. Athanasiadis.
What is your current job title, Mr. Daly?
Dia pekerjaannya apa, ditanyakan sekali lagi.
Water distribution crew chief for South Philadelphia.
Dia adalah kepala pemberian air di bagian South Philadelphia dan kepala untuk mengatasi semua orang yang ada bagian bawahannya.
Makasih.
And what are your responsibilities as the water crew chief in South Philadelphia?
Dia menanyakan lagi apakah tanggung jawab dia sebagai atasan bagian pendistribusian air di South Philly.
I am responsible for the maintenance, the installation and disconnection of water services in the South Philadelphia area.
Dia bertanggung jawab atas pemberian air, memeriksa, membetulkan kerusakan-kerusakan dan juga mengatur pemberhentian dan penyalaan air di bagian South Philly.
And how long have you been employed in this particular position?
Dia menanyakan lagi sudah berapa lama dia berada di dalam posisi ini.
Sorry, over 11 years.
Sekitar 11 tahun.
And I'm going to direct your attention, sir, to the address of 2538 South Darien Street.
Saya akan membicarakan tentang alamat 2538 South Darien.
Yes.
And you are familiar with this address?
Apakah kamu tahu alamat ini?
Yes, I am.
Ya, saya tahu.
And what led the Philadelphia Water Department to the 2500 block of South Darien Street?
Apa yang membawa PWD bagian air ini ke blok 2500 South Darien?
Initially, a customer complaint of water in their cellar, and subsequently, our leak detection.
Ada orang yang komplain masalah air di gudang bawah tanahnya, cellar. Dan itu yang membawa mereka untuk datang ke sana.
Our leak detection unit made an inspection and found that there was a leak on that block and gave us a mark.
Dan bagian yang menginspeksi, bagian yang memeriksa menemukan ada kebocoran di beberapa pipa yang membawa kita untuk menandainya.
Now, Mr. Daly, I'm currently showing my screen, and this is a record that's kept in the CityWorks system. Are you familiar with records contained in the CityWorks system?
Ini adalah screen yang diberikan kepada dia. Ini adalah sistem bekerjanya PWD yang mereka menanyakan apakah Mr. Daly ini mengerti tentang sistem bekerja di PWD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just going to direct your attention to, and these records are kept in the ordinary course and scope of Philadelphia Water Department business.
Dan dia juga menanyakan apakah sistem ini ada di data sidang di PWD yang semua orang bisa melihatnya.
Yes, they are.
Ya, ada.
And the record that I'm showing you, sir, and you can follow along with me. Is it correct? This was the record you were referring to about a call-in?
Yes.
Dan dia juga menanyakan apakah data ini yang ada di depan kamu yang dibagikan oleh dia adalah data yang membuat dia datang berdasarkan dari telepon yang diterima. Dan dia menjawab ya.
And in this record, it indicates SR type water in cellar. Is that correct?
Dan di sini dikatakan juga masalah air di gudang bawah tanah. Apakah benar?
Yes, that's correct.
And the caller type was a resident call-in?
Yang menelpon apakah orang penduduk biasa?
That's correct.
And the data was, I apologize, interpreter. And the data was initiated was July 31st, 2023.
Dan dimulainya pemeriksaan ini karena menerima teleponnya itu bulan Juli tanggal 31 2023.
That is correct.
Betul.
And the address of the call-in was 2541 South Darien Street.
Yang menelpon adalah 2541 South Darien.
That's correct.
Betul.
Now, Mr. Daly, I'm going to show you another document, sir.
Saya ingin menunjukkan dokumen yang lain.
Do you see my screen?
Kamu bisa melihatnya?
Yes.
And this has been previously marked as City 1 for the record.
Ini sudah ditandakan sebagai kota 1 untuk data kita, rekaman kita.
And I'm directing you to page 2 of 9. Can you tell the board what this document is?
Saya menatakan masalah halaman kedua dari 9 halaman yang ada. Bisakah kamu ceritakan ke kita apa ini?
Yes, that's a notice of plumbing defect that was given to the customer at the time we determined that the water line was theirs.
Ini adalah waktu ditemukan bahwa kesalahan itu berada di alamat kamu. Kecacatan yang ada dari air itu dari rumah kamu sehingga diberikan peringatan ini.
And is your name the name listed here, sir, as crew chief / inspector?
Nah, apakah nama kamu yang tertulis di sini sebagai atasan dan juga inspektur?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And when is a notice of plumbing defect issued?
Kapan ini diberikan masalah kecacatan pipa dikeluarkan?
Once we have determined that there's a leak and whose property the line belongs to, then we issue out a notice.
Itu dikeluarkan pada saat kami menemukan siapa ini yang mempunyai rumahnya dan yang mana sejak ditemukan kebocorannya.
And did you complete this form, sir?
Yes, I did.
Apakah kamu mengompletkan ini? Ya.
And was this document left at the property of 2538 South Darien Street?
Yes, it was.
Apakah dokumen ini tinggal di 2538 South Darien?
Yes, it was.
Ya.
And why was this notice of plumbing defect left at that particular address?
Kenapa kok surat ini, surat peringatan ini ditinggalkan di alamat yang itu, bukan di alamat lain?
After excavation, we found that the leak that was coming from the line was their line, and we shut it off, and then determined that it was theirs again, and made sure. Once we did that, we wrote up the notice. I wrote up the notice.
Waktu kami menemukan bahwa surat itu, pipa itu kebocorannya berasal dari rumah kamu, saya mematikan airnya, dan setelah itu saya masih memastikan lagi apakah benar dari rumah kamu, dan ternyata benar. Jadi kita harus memberikan surat ini.
And just for purposes of the record, you checked off the middle of the NOD listing leak on water service pipe between 1 and 4?
Waktu itu kamu memeriksa dan kamu menemukan kebocorannya itu di antara pipa nomor 1 sampai 4? 1 dan 4, sorry.
Yes, that denotes that it would be a leak between the shutoff valve at the water main and the curb box. So it can only be shut off in the street.
Itu harus dimatikan airnya karena kebocorannya itu ada di pipa yang itu, benar. Di dekatnya trotoar dan di bagian dalam dekat rumah, di dekat pintu rumah.
And you also checked off, because as you indicated, that the water service had been shut off, correct?
Dan saya juga, kamu juga menandakan di sini bahwa airnya sudah dimatikan. Apa benar?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And in this notice that was left at the property, that section also indicates, because that issue has not been corrected or is causing a health and or safety hazard. Is that correct?
Dan di situ juga dikatakan ini harus dijalankan karena kesalahan dan kerusakan yang terjadi tidak kamu betulkan dan menyebabkan masalah kesehatan dan keamanan. Apakah benar?
That's correct. If it were not corrected, it could lead to a collapse of the street or flooding in adjacent homes.
Kalau kamu tidak benarkan, bisa menyebabkan banjir. Atau juga jalannya di depan bisa rusak kena air dan berlubang.
And that notice was left at the property, correct?
Dan itu ditinggalkan di depan rumah, kan?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And you were present on site on that particular day. Is there anything you observed or witnessed while you were on site, sir?
Waktu itu kamu berada di sana, kan? Untuk melihat secara perorangan, kamu benar-benar berada di sana. Saya ingin tahu, kamu melihat apa saja yang kamu bisa katakan apa yang terjadi di sana.
Well, I was present for not the entire job, but some of the job, and I returned to the job at the end of the job.
Saya berada di sana tidak dalam seluruh pekerjaan, cuman sebagian saja. Saya datang dan pergi, dan saya akhirnya datang lagi pada akhirnya.
Can you explain to the board how it was determined that the water service pipe belonging to 2538 South Darien Street had the leak between 1 and 4?
Apakah kamu bisa ceritakan kepada kami kenapa kamu memutuskan bahwa kebocoran pipa itu adalah dari pemilik rumah 2538 South Darien dan ditemukan pipa antara 1 sampai 4?
Well, what we do is we put a sounding rod, which is a long steel rod, in and touch the curb box shut off, and someone else shuts off the service. Now, if that sound stops at the curb box, then we determine that that's on that line. We can also tap on it.
Okay, stop.
Sorry.
Interpreter.
Oke. Ditemukan itunya dari kita mencoba satu-satu dari box yang ada di depan rumah masing-masing. Satu stop, akhirnya dari situ kita menemukannya.
Mr. Daly?
We could also tap on the line in the excavation, and whichever line has the greatest sound, that usually is 99% of the time, that's the line that we had shut off. Also, we
Setelah itu saya mencoba lagi satu-satu dan saya menemukan dari depan rumahmu waktu kita memberhentikan airnya, ternyata airnya berhenti. Jadi kita yakin 99% bahwa itu dari rumahmu.
Also, we check the services adjacent to that to make sure that there was no other properties out of water. That would
I'm sorry. May you repeat that, please? I lost you for a moment there.
We would check the adjacent properties to make sure they had water, and the property without water would be the property whose line is broken.
Dan saya itu juga memastikan siapa yang tidak ada airnya. Kalau sampai setelah linemu itu dimatikan oleh dia dan ternyata airnya tidak keluar di rumah sebelah sana, berarti itu adalah rumah yang pipanya rusak.
And following this testing, it was determined that the leak was coming from 2538 South Darien Street.
Dari setelah dites semuanya ini dan kamu menyatakan dan menemukan bahwa kebocoran ini dari 2538 South Darien.
That's correct.
Yes, betul.
And once that line was shut off, the leak stopped.
Waktu diberhentikan line-nya, kebocorannya berhenti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to share my screen with you once again, Mr. Daly.
Saya akan memberikan screen-nya lagi untuk menunjukkan yang terjadi.
Second, sir. Mr. Daly, do you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Saat saya cuma melihat apakah bisa melihat screen saya dan belum ada.
Brief indulgence. I apologize, Chairman Woodson. Can we just take a 30-second break? I seem to be having some technical difficulties here.
Dia cuma minta break 30 detik, berhenti sebentar karena ada masalah tidak bisa mengeluarkan gambarnya.
Okay, actually, it's 3:07 according to my clock. We will take a 10-minute break and come back at about 3:18, 3:20.
Jadi 3:07 sekarang kita ambil 10 kali lagi bertemu lagi ya. Setelah ini bertemu lagi. Oke, 10 menit.
Asik.
We do have a panel that's in place. Ms. Athanasiadis, are you prepared to proceed?
Yes, and thank you for
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, just for we be clear that we do have a quorum.
Yes. We have the floor. Let us go back on the record. Okay, Ms. Athanasiadis, I believe that you were proceeding.
Dia juga meminta apakah akan dimulai, udah siap dimulai atau belum.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Mr. Daly,
Terima kasih. Tuan Daly,
you did not perform any re-inspections, correct?
kamu sudah melakukan inspeksi ulang kan?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
You did
Tolong
not,
diulang.
you did not perform any re-inspections relating to the property.
Maaf, apakah kamu sudah melakukan inspeksi ulang untuk properti ini atau tidak?
No, I did not.
But you,
Ya, tidak melakukannya.
but you reviewed records relating to re-inspections.
Tapi kamu dikatakan di sini kamu akan melakukan inspeksi ulang.
Yes, I have.
Ya.
Okay, sir. Do you see my screen?
Kamu sudah lihat ini screen-nya?
Yes.
Now, this is a notice, NOD reinspection water. This is a document that's kept in CityWorks, correct?
Ini adalah dokumen yang disimpan oleh data yang ada di kota dan dikatakan di sini adalah peringatan untuk inspeksi ulang.
Yes, it is.
Ya.
And this record is kept in the ordinary course and scope of Philadelphia Water Department business.
Dan ini rekodnya, salinannya, apakah ada di PWD supaya bisa dilihat semua orang juga?
Yes, it is.
Ya.
And if you can just read along with me, a reinspection was done of this property, 2538 South Darien Street, on August 18th, 2023 by Myrick. Is that correct?
Di sini dikatakan kalau bisa kamu baca bersama saya. Inspeksi ulang sudah dilakukan tanggal 18 Agustus 2023 oleh Myrick. Apa benar?
That's correct.
Ya, betul.
And this record indicates found no repairs made to shut off at Farrell.
Di sini dikatakan tidak ada perbaikan yang ditemukan untuk mematikan Farrell-nya.
District patch in street, no permit in system, sent final per 116.
Ada tambalan di jalan, tidak ada izinnya di kota, dikirimkan ke bagian 116.
Yes, that's correct.
And now I'll point you to what's been marked previously as City 1, page 6 of 9. This is another reinspection record.
Nah, ini adalah laporan dari inspeksi ulang yang ada di kita.
And this record of reinspection was September 18th, 2023, done once again by Myrick.
Dilakukan lagi pada tanggal 18 September 2023 oleh Myrick.
That's correct.
Betul.
And please let me know if I read the comments correctly, sir.
Tolong kasih tahu saya kalau saya membacanya secara benar di sini.
Found no repairs made to leak on water service 1 to 4.
Ditemukan tidak ada perbaikan di kebocoran air nomor 1 sampai 4.
Property previously shut off at Farrell. No permit system.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the last part before the system?
Property previously shut off at Farrell.
Ini propertinya sudah dimatikan dari depan.
No permit in system.
Tidak ada izin di sistem.
No dig-ups.
Tidak ada penggalian.
District patch in street.
Ada tambalan di jalan.
Refer to non-compliance per 116.
Dimasukkan ke dalam tidak mengikuti anjuran di 116.
And sir, now I'm going to direct you to page 8 of 9 of City 1. This is another.
Saya akan membawa ke halaman 8 dari 9 halaman yang ada.
This is another reinspection record for 2538 South Darien Street.
Ini adalah surat dari inspeksi ulang yang ada di saya untuk tanggal berikutnya.
And please read along with me and correct me if I'm wrong. The date of this reinspection was November 9th, 2023.
Tolong baca dengan saya bersamaan. Kalau saya ada yang salah, tolong beritahu saya. Inspeksi ulangnya dilakukan pada tanggal 9 November tahun 2023.
Found no repairs made to defective water service line 1 through 4.
Tidak ditemukan adanya perbaikan di servis air yang rusak dari nomor 1 sampai 4.
Property previously shut off at Farrell.
Propertinya dimatikan di depan.
District patch and street.
Ada tambalan dari distrik di jalan.
No permit in system, no dig-ups.
Tidak ada izin di sistem kita, tidak ada galian.
Refer to close not satisfied per 116.
Dimasukkan ke dalam kasus tidak puas di 116.
Did I do that correctly, Mr. Daly?
Yes, you did.
Saya benarkan saya kalau saya salah, tapi tidak ada yang salah.
So as we sit here today, the service pipe remains defective.
Selama kita masih duduk di sini sekarang ini, jadi pipanya ini masih rusak.
Yes.
And the property owner has failed to make the required repairs.
Dan pemilik rumah tidak mengikuti anjuran untuk melakukan perbaikan yang diminta.
To the best of my knowledge, that's correct.
Sepengetahuan saya, ya.
No further questions of Mr. Daly at this time.
Tidak ada pertanyaan lagi untuk Tuan Daly sampai saat ini.
Okay, Ms. Wardani, do you have any questions of Mr. Daly based on his testimony?
Ibu Wardani, apakah ada yang ingin ditanyakan kepada Tuan Daly, Mr. Daly sampai saat ini?
You muted, ma'am. You muted. Please unmute yourself.
Do you have any questions, right?
Harus saya yang jawab?
I don't know if you heard that.
Excuse me, sir. Ms. Wardani, the gentleman in the room, he asked him to move out of the screen and also not to speak. This is
Tolong
your
minta
case.
itu pria yang di sebelahmu untuk keluar dari kamera dan tidak berbicara.
Oke, baik, udah.
Oke.
Saya cuma minta tolong aja tadinya supaya kan bahasa Inggris saya nggak begitu bagus. Jadi saya tadinya minta tolong sama Mr. James dan nggak ada bayaran apa-apa, dia dengan sukarela karena mungkin melihat situasi saya, ada anak sakit, ada 2 orang sakit, jadi saya minta tolong dia gitu. Takut salah saya bicara.
He was actually someone else that just helping me around. Yeah, Mr. James helping me with pro bono without a fee. He looked at my situation with a daughter being sick and 2 other members that being my family members that being sick. So he was just helping me around here. There's nothing to do with anything else.
Okay, for purposes of this hearing, his interference is not helping.
Untuk naik banding ini, kalau dia mengganggu itu tidak menolong.
Enggak ganggu, dia banyak nolong saya.
Yeah, he didn't mean to interfere. He helped me a lot.
Ya,
Do you, Ms. Wardani, do you have any questions for Mr. Daly?
Kamu ada pertanyaan yang ingin ditanyakan enggak dengan bagian yang inspeksi tadi, Tuan Daly?
Saya nomor 1 saya enggak paham itu siapa yang tadi udah jelaskan, tapi saya ada pertanyaan itu payroll itu apa? Saya enggak ngerti. Dan Jensen itu siapa yang laporan? Setahu saya, Jensen itu anak-anaknya yang punya, bukan yang punya rumah.
Okay. So first of all, I don't know who you are, but I got the point. I could have understand that you came into my house earlier. But I do have a question. What Farrell that you meant, and who is Jason? Because Jensen that I knew is the son of the owner.
Grandson.
Jensen. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Well, the furrow is the shutoff valve between the water main and the service line going to the property.
Farrell itu adalah seperti keran yang dipakai oleh bagian departemen untuk mematikan air yang ada di depan rumah yang di trotoar antara dari saluran air di luar.
I hate to cut in, but I'm getting a whole lot of background noise.
Okay,
I don't
wait,
know
just
whether anyone else is
okay,
there.
okay, wait. Interpret it just for a moment. Ms. Wardani, if there's anyone in your space who's speaking while we're hearing, ask them not to, because we can hear their voices. So ask them, whoever it is, please stop doing that. It's interfering.
Kalau ada enggak yang berbicara di tempatmu itu, tolong diminta untuk berhenti berbicara karena suaranya masuk ke dalam sini jadi mengganggu. Yang lain tidak bisa mendengar.
Nggak usah.
Again, Ms. Wardani, ask those people to please leave the room.
Tolong
If
minta
they can't be
semuanya
quiet.
untuk meninggalkan ruangan kalau tidak bisa diam.
Oke, baik.
Oke.
Mr.
Okay,
Chairman,
I'm sorry. I wasn't finished interpreting the one that Mr. Daly earlier with me. I be able
Yes,
to
please.
finish it?
Please, then it will take questions, please. Yeah.
Oke. Itu tadi yang dimaksud Farrell itu adalah kamu tahu kalau di depan yang biasanya untuk menggunakan kayak semacam keran yang digunakan oleh bagian departemen air itu untuk mematikan air supaya tidak jalan air yang di dalam rumah. Jadi memutuskan saluran antara air yang disuplai oleh water department dan air yang masuk ke dalam rumah. Itu yang dimaksud oleh Farrell.
Oh, oke, nanti saya bisa jelaskan dan saya minta ada pertanyaan juga sejelas-jelas karena saya juga pada saat itu saya lihat gitu dan kalau ada pertanyaan saya ditanya dulu. Yang penting saya udah tahu Jensen itu yang saya kenal itu adalah cucu yang punya rumah gitu.
Okay, Jensen is actually the grandson of the owner, so it's not the property owner.
Okay, I'm not.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman,
Yes.
would the interpreter please inform Ms. Wardani that we have an official interpreter for the purposes of this hearing, and that is the person she must listen to, not a stranger, not the other person who is speaking. Mr. Interpreter, would you please explain that to Ms. Wardani?
Will do. Thank you. Ibu Wardani.
Ya, baik. Udah saya kasih.
Tolong untuk diminta yang lain karena mereka membayar penerjemah untuk hal ini.
Ya.
Jadi
Oke,
tolong gunakan jasa saya bukan mendengarkan dari orang-orang yang di sekitarmu.
Ya. Baik, mereka dengar dan mengerti.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Okay.
The chair, can I ask Ms. Anastasia a quick question?
Well, no, Ms. Wardani.
I think this is important
please,
because
please.
of what she just said.
No, please. But let's do this because it's going to get too confusing. I'd like Ms. Wardani to complete questioning Mr. Daly, then we can get to open questions, okay? Let's do that because it'll get too confusing. So, Ms. Wardani, do you have any other questions for Mr. Daly?
I'm sorry, I already asked it earlier. May I repeat it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so who is Jensen? Because Jensen that I know is not the property owners, but the grandson of the owner.
Kesatu ya. Kesatu itu. Kedua, pembukaan jalan itu tidak minta sama saya pemberitahuan sebelumnya. Saya ada di rumah. Dan Yeah, okay.
That's the
Satu.
first one. The second one is when you open up the street and nobody actually informed me anything. I was home. Why nobody saying anything to me?
Well, when we opened up the street, we were there for a minimum of 5 hours. So, and it takes a while to determine whose line it is. Once we do determine whose line it is, that's when the notice is handed out. As far as the first question, I have no idea what she's speaking about.
Yang pertama itu tadi masalah pembukaan di jalan. Itu
Ya.
kan kita makan waktu sekitar 5 jam untuk mencari tahu ini punya siapa. Kan makanya kita harus mencoba satu-satu. Tetapi kalau kita tidak menemukannya, kita tidak akan memberikan kertas itu. Kita harus menemukannya dulu, setelah menemukannya kita baru memberikan kertas itu. Dan yang pertanyaan yang pertama masalah Jensen. Saya nggak tahu apa yang kamu maksud dengan pertanyaan itu.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah.
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah, just want to make sure she doesn't have anything, then you can do that. Sir. Miss Guadrini, Donnie, any more questions?
Yes,
Ada
of course.
pertanyaan lagi?
Ya, karena saya ngikutin dari awal pembongkaran dan saya juga punya video secara langsung. Jadi berapa nggak sampai 5 jam dan saya hanya diketok pintu. Siapa owner ini? Saya bilang saya. Nah kebetulan saya ada ponakan. Ya, ada ponakan direkod itu dan tidak ada pemberitahuan. Dia cuma bilang panggil plumbing kamu, saya ada waktu cuman setengah jam, dia bilang 20 menit dengan punya permit.
Tunggu. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to stop him. Stop her. I do have a video about the whole situation, the whole ordeal that happening in front of the house when they're opening up the street. Wasn't even 5 hours. So the only thing that they did is just like when they knock on my door, and there was either my niece or my cousin, because I'm sorry, this is the interpreter and try to letting you know. In Indonesia, there is no term between niece and nephew, so it's just one word. So I opened up the door, and then they told me I only have 20 minutes for you to call the plumber. So, and they asked, who's the owner of the house? And I said, it's me. And they give me only 20 minutes to call the plumber.
Okay, that wasn't a question. So I assume you don't have any further questions. After the city completes its case, then you can tell us your full story about what happened.
Ya, kamu jadi nggak ada pertanyaan. Itu bukan pertanyaan. Masih ada pertanyaannya lagi? Kalau nggak ada pertanyaan, itu kan cerita. Nanti kalau kamu sudah ditemukan semuanya dan semua sudah berbicara, kamu boleh cerita lagi.
Okay, Mr. Washington, you had a question.
Yes, my question
Kamu ada
is.
pertanyaan?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
She testified that he talked to the owner's nephew, grandson, however we want to interpret it. Do that mean she do not own the property?
Ya, kamu tadi mengatakan bahwa
I'm sorry, may I
tadi itu
enter into
siapa?
the camera?
No, I'm not sure who that is. Whoever that,
The
whoever that
sound went
is,
off.
please be quiet. And
She can't hear you. The sound went off. I'm just trying to fix the phone for her. I just asked, sir. I'm uncertain why. The first thing I said, you said that there were 2 appellants, and I just tried to
sir,
correct it. And
sir,
if that interrupted you, my apologies, Chairman.
yes,
My apologies.
please be quiet.
Okay,
And please direct the screen back to her. We have technical
Sir, I
assistance.
just came over to fix the phone. That's why I said thank you. But I'm curious why I just heard interruptions.
Please do not ask. We're not answering any questions from you. We don't even who you are. Please. So, Mr. Wade, do we have to do anything to help with this?
Maybe you should ask me.
Mr. Wade, do we need to do anything else in terms of connectivity?
No, it's her bandwidth. Yeah. There's nothing we can do.
Can ask you, can he speak for me?
No, he cannot. Yeah, the only person who can speak for you is you or a lawyer. This is your appeal. We need you to tell us what's going on. That's why we have an interpreter. Interpreter.
Yang boleh kamu bicara itu cuman kamu atau pengacaramu. Kalau dia bukan pengacara, dia tidak bisa berbicara.
Dia
Karena ini
attorney,
ada
dia attorney saya.
he is my attorney.
I have power of attorney.
Iya.
He is
I'm not allowed to
Dia
speak, so
urus
every time that I
tax
say
saya.
boo, he freaks out. So
Dia urus ini saya, tapi dia bantu saya. Dia attorney.
let's
He is the attorney, and he has a power of attorney for me. And then he was the one that taking care of everything.
Chairman, I'm going to object to any outside discussion, testimony. The
Saya
appellant,
ingin membantah semua omongan yang dari luar.
the appellant is the one that filed the appeal.
there is power of attorney on there, though. There's a 20.
And
and I already-
furthermore, the gentleman, whoever he might be speaking, did not indicate he's representing the appellant in this specific matter. So I would object as to his insertions, comments, or any other testimony being put on the record, because he is not part of this hearing. He has no standing to participate. And if
Okay.
he did,
Just
he
stop,
should have
stop,
raised it
stop.
at the beginning.
Interpreter, please.
Dia tuh mengatakan bahwa waktu kamu mengajukan banding itu kamu tidak memasukkan nama dia. Jadi dengan kata lain, yang ada di naik banding itu cuma nama kamu saja. Jadi dia tidak punya hak untuk berbicara atas nama kamu. Kalau nama dia tidak ada sebagai pengacara kamu.
Okay.
Jadi dia tidak membolehkan.
Okay. Your objection is noted.
Iya.
Oke, sudah dicatat.
Mr. Washington's question to Ms. Wardani. Ms. Wardani, are you the owner of this property?
Iya.
Kamu pemilik rumahnya?
Iya.
My follow-up question then is, why did she just testify that he didn't talk to the, I'm gonna say the owner, he talked to the grandson of the owners. Could she please clarify that?
Kamu bisa tadi itu yang kamu maksud cucumu itu siapa? Cucu atau keponakan itu siapa? Tadi dia mengatakan mereka tidak berbicara dengan kamu sendiri, tetapi berbicara dengan cucunya. Tadi yang kamu maksud cucu itu cucu siapa?
Jensen itu cucunya owner yang 2541. Cucunya yang saya tahu yang Jensen itu gitu loh. Kalau saya kan ownernya. Nah, saya juga pertanyaan saya, kok tiba-tiba setelah saya panggil plumbing dalam 15 menit, dia nggak ngasih kesempatan saya untuk panggil plumbing yang ada permit, tiba-tiba ditutup aja. Jadi dia ngasih kesempatan saya bingung. Tiba-tiba air nggak ada, sedangkan anak saya sakit, cucu saya sakit. Saya mesti bagaimana? Mau tolong minta siapa? Bahasa Inggris saya nggak bagus. Kok tiba-tiba mati airnya?
Okay. So I was talking about the grandson was about not my grandson, but it's the grandson from 2541 because they the Philadelphia Water Department saying that he got a call from the owner of the property of the 2541. But Jensen is not the owner. Jensen is the grandson. I am the owner of the 2538 of South Darien Street. And then when the time that you came and knocked to my house, you didn't even give me a chance to try to look for the plumber or call the plumber or anything else. And all of a sudden, you just give me 15, 20 minutes and my water is shut off. And I have my child that's sick. I have my grandchild that's sick. So I don't know what to do, what's going on. My English is not that good. I don't know what to say and I don't know who to call. I have to look for help so someone can help me.
Okay.
Let's do a follow-up question, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do just before everyone else, just for a moment.
Let him interpret.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
tunggu sebentar ya. Tunggu sebentar Ibu Wardani ya.
We'll ask Ms. Marty to do, if she has someone there who will be a witness on her behalf, just as the city is called a witness, we can ask her to call a witness who can respond to specific questions. I think that's probably a fair way to do it if she has someone there who can help make her case?
Gini Bu Wardani,
Ya.
untuk menjadi adilnya, kan kota memanggil saksi mata tadi, Mr. Deli tadi saksi matanya kota. Kamu punya saksi mata enggak yang bisa membantu kamu? Kalau ada, silahkan panggil sekarang ke kamera untuk berbicara.
Ada.
Chairman Woodson, if I may, I just want to note my objection as to the
Dia,
characters.
dia make video dan dia ada, ya. Ya, dia ada lihat semua, itu ada. Dan plumbing saya datang, tapi udah ditutup. Tiba-tiba dari Siti ngasih surat sama saya. Loh bagaimana? Saya nggak ada kasih kesempatan, terus harus bayar. Dari mana tiba-tiba saya nggak ada air? Saya punya surat, cucu saya punya, saya anak saya, cucu saya sakit dua-duanya. Saya udah swear.
Interpreter, stop, please.
Please.
Okay, so basically, yes, I do have a witness, and I do also have a video. My either nephew or niece trying to help me call the plumber. The plumber came in. My plumber came in, and then they already closed down, and I couldn't do anything. But yes, I do have a witness, and I do have a video.
Okay, Ms. Athanasiadis has an objection, so we're gonna ask her to put her objection on the record.
I have a few objections, Chairman Woodson. One is to the characterization of Mr. Daly's testimony. There's never a reference to any grandson named Jansen. The only reference was to a record as to what led the Philadelphia Water Department on the 2500 block of South Darien Street. That is the one objection.
Okay, let's get that interpreter.
Bantan yang pertama, itu tadi Jansen itu bukan masalah pemilik rumah atau tidak. Jansen itu tadi yang menelpon melaporkan bahwa ada masalah di bawah tanah dia, gudang bawah tanah dia. Jadi bukan masalah pemilik rumah atau tidak.
Oke.
And the second objection is to the characterization that he or they knocked on my door and whatever they might have allegedly told her. I'm objecting as to hearsay grounds on that part of the testimony.
Dan mereka juga membantah masalah ngetok di pintunya itu loh, yang tadi cuma sebentar katanya, dan tidak memberikan kamu kesempatan apa-apa, cuma 15 sampai 20 menit untuk dia membantah itu.
Enggak, saya ada saksi kok.
I do have a witness for that.
Okay. Ms. Athanasiadis, your objections are so noted. What I'd like to be able to do, though, is if Ms. Barnrani has a witness, to factual witness, someone who understands what's going on, have that person be sworn in and to speak to their understanding of what's happening so she can put her case on.
Kalau kamu punya saksi mata, tolong panggil sekarang untuk berbicara di kamera dan disumpah, ada nggak?
Iya, ada. Suami saya. Sebentar.
Okay, now who is the witness? Who is that person? They need to come forward so we can swear them in.
Siapa anunya? Saksi matanya, tolong Kang.
Yang tadi disebut FNU Ardiansah, dia suami saya.
The one that you mentioned earlier, Johanna, FNU Ardiansah.
Dia sempat argue sama orang Siti, dan dia video di situ enggak kering gitu ya, ada videonya. Saya bingung, cuman 10-15 menit tiba-tiba dia tutup semua. Saya nggak dikasih kesempatan, tiba-tiba saya dikasih surat bahwa ini
Okay, so we all do have a video that I do have a video for that, like and he actually argued with the someone from the city that saying that you didn't give me a chance at all. You only gave me like a few minutes, and then after that you closed down, and then you didn't even give up a chance to do anything else. And yes.
Okay. All right. If she has a witness, I want to hear from the witness who can explain what they believe happened. That's all I need the witness to do.
Yang saya inginkan cuma saya mendengarkan dari saksi matanya. Tolong dipersilakan saksi matanya.
Ya. Silakan. Ini yang make video.
He's the one that has the video.
Okay, I just need his testimony. I don't want to see the video right now. I just want the
Saya
testimony.
nggak mau lihat videonya, saya cuma mau dengar pernyataan.
What is his name?
Okay,
Namamu
my
siapa?
FNU Ardiansyah.
Repeat.
My name is FNU Frank Nancy Union Ardiansyah, ARDI ANSYAH.
Okay. Interpreter, because this is going to be confusing, I'd like you to, as he speaks, if he speaks in English, you will need to interpret in the Indonesian. Understood?
Okay, okay.
I understand. No.
Sir, what is your relationship to this property? Oh, no. First of all, raise
Oke.
your right hand so you can be sworn.
Tolong angkat tangannya.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Dia cuma disumpah kalau mengatakan semuanya secara jujur.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. What do you believe happened?
Menurut kamu apa yang kamu percaya terjadi? Kalau kamu bisa bahasa Inggris, silakan berbicara dengan bahasa Inggris. Saya akan menerjemahkannya dalam bahasa Indonesia untuk Ibu Wardani.
Terima kasih Mbak Ningsih. Okay, before sir,
Jelas.
like my name is FNU Ardiansyah, and then at the time I was in the property when they dig out the street. It right.
Ya,
like
dia
in
ada
the-
di tempatnya waktu terjadi kejadian itu digali.
Okay, and they dig out right in the middle of the street, closer to 2541 side. And
Dan dia itu waktu menggali itu dekat dengan 2541.
yes, and then like a couple days before, I think they were complaining about the sewer is overflow or something.
Nah, waktu itu beberapa hari sebelumnya ada komplain masalah kalinya, bawahnya banjir.
Yes, and then the night before the dig out happening, like Bill, I think the father of Jason, he tried to borrow the snake from me, like a big snake.
Okay. I'm only interested in what happened with the water department, not with other people, other neighbors. What happened with the water department and the response to the complaint at your house?
Tolong jelaskan itu terjadinya waktu itu kenapa dengan orang-orang dari water department yang datang ke rumah itu. Tolong jelaskan kejadian itu saja, jangan sebelumnya.
Okay, okay. So at the time they come in, they don't. We don't know like before when they come in, but we only heard the sound. They dig out the street and something like that. But then
Saya tidak tahu kapan dia datang, tapi cuma dengar suaranya gali jalan. Tahu dia bilang tahu kok dia.
Yes, and then after that, like after they dig out the street, like when the hole is happening, I mean the hole is already dig, and then they knock on the door, and they call
Waktu
me.
itu saya tahunya semua sudah digali dan sudah ada lubang di jalan dan tahu-tahu diketok pintunya.
Yeah, and then they asked me, "Hey, come in here. I need to show you something." And the guy name was Freddy. The guy that talked to me was Freddy. And then
Namanya Freddy yang berbicara dengan dia. Waktu itu ngetok rumah dan manggil dia, sini saya tunjukkan.
Okay, since my wife is inside the house, so I think that everybody needs to know. So I put on my camera and I go outside, and then he show me, "Oh, your line is leaking."
Waktu itu saya karena kamu ada di dalam rumah dan saya memikir semua harus tahu apa yang terjadi. Jadi saya pasang video dan dia menunjukkan itu pipamu bocor.
Yes, he was saying the main valve was split. That's what he's saying to me.
Waktu itu keran utamanya pecah.
That's I believe is the number one when you see the bill of the water like behind it, like that's the number one, the main valve.
Kalau menurut saya itu nomor 1, yang mungkin menurut saya dari datanya itu nomor 1.
Okay, so they say the main valve was split, and then they say you gotta call a plumber to fix it. And I say
mereka ini nomor 1 pecah, kamu harus manggil plumber untuk memperbaikinya.
yes. Since I see like the surrounding was pretty dry, so I'm assuming is it our fault or I'm not sure if it's the like the pipe is like leaking before the diggers. Because
Waktu itu saya lihat kering semua di sekelilingnya, jadi saya menanyakan apakah itu salah saya atau apakah salah yang gali kalau sampai pecah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask the city attorney, Ms. Athanasiadis, if she has any questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, let her interpret. Let her interpret.
Saya cuma mau meminta itu yang perempuan itu apakah ada pertanyaan. Dia bagian dari kota.
And what date were you on site when this happened?
August 2nd.
Apakah kamu waktu terjadi? waktu ada di tempat waktu itu terjadi?
Yes, on August 2nd.
Tanggal 2 Agustus.
And you saw the leak in the
Kamu
street.
melihat
I
bocornya?
still and I recording it.
Kering.
Did you see
Yeah,
the leak?
no, it was dry.
That was pointed out to you.
Apakah kamu kelihatan basah ada bocornya atau bersih nggak ada bocor?
Because they already like put
Can
the
you
pump.
answer my question, sir? Did you see the leak as it was pointed out to you by the water department employee?
I gotta go.
Apakah kamu melihat kebocorannya itu? Tolong dijawab itu saja.
Yes, I saw the leak. But when I come in,
Well, let me ask my question. And since that time in August till today in February, has the property owner or you ever contacted a plumber regarding the notice of defect that was issued that day?
Apakah kamu sudah memanggil plumber untuk membetulkan kerusakan yang dikatakan ditemukan oleh
Yes,
kita pada waktu itu mulai dari September sampai sekarang?
Excuse me. Someone is speaking in the background. I can't. He's distracted.
I actually they're all on my phone and I need to go. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can Zoom on their phone, but I do have
Well,
to
this
go.
is going to be a problem for the appellant then, because we can't. They're responsible for this.
I've been on the call since 12:30.
I don't know who you are, sir.
I've interacted with the attorney, and now she doesn't know who I am. I have emailed to her. You're
sir,
denying someone representation, but
okay.
The last 4.5 hours of my time have been a complete waste. So
Miss
you have
Daisy,
to
would you
go.
ask the appellant what they want to do, because we're in the middle of this hearing.
We'll appeal it.
Kamu maunya apa sekarang ini? Tolong maunya bagaimana? Kamu
Okay.
Kamu maunya, menurut kamu bagaimana aja? Kalau kamu enaknya bagaimana sekarang kita? Sekarang maunya gini, saya ambil plumbing saya datang dan lihat plumbing saya bilang
Yes.
itu kering.
That day we called the plumber already, but when they come
No,
in,
that's not my question. My question is, what do you want to do if this person is going to leave and take the phone?
Continue.
Itu loh kamu. Dia katanya teleponnya mau dibawa. Jadi kamu maunya bagaimana sekarang ini? Iya. Saya maunya pokoknya minta tolong.
Can I use the phone?
Yeah, all they were trying to do is get you to pay the cost for the street, which, you already testified 3 times that anything past
I'm not sure who that person is, so that person's voice has been stricken. Daisy, would you ask her again, how does she want to proceed if this person is leaving?
Ini apakah bagaimana? Ini mau dilanjutkan atau tidak ini? Kalau teleponnya mau dibawa.
Dia boleh pakai sebentar lagi.
I do need my phone though. I do have a doctor's appointment that I have to go to.
So that's off the record,
I just
court
sat here
reporter.
for 4 hours.
That's
and
off the record. Miss Athanasiadis, what is your pleasure in this matter?
You could have let me know 3.5 hours ago. She could.
Please mute. Please mute. Miss Wade, mute him, please. Mute him, please. Miss Athanasiadis, what is your desire? What do you think we should do here?
Chairman Woodson,
I apologize, Your Honor.
Yeah, Miss Athanasiadis.
Chairman Woodson, I would like to proceed with this hearing. My witness has been here since 12:30. He's been off the street as well. We've started the case. As you can see, I think it would create more detriment to bifurcate. We've already presented our evidence. The other people there may have another phone that can be used. This was listed, this was scheduled.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interpreter, please interpret what was just said, and then we lost the interpreter. Yeah, please interpret what she just said.
Mereka itu sudah menunggu dari 12:30 tadi untuk masalah naik banding ini. Dan juga saksi matanya sudah tidak bekerja mulai dari 12:30. Mereka ingin dilanjutkan. Kamu bisa nggak melanjutkan karena teleponnya sudah dibawa?
Okay. Can
Kamu
they call in?
Mute.
I'm sorry.
They call in on a can they call in on a different phone, a device?
Tolong kamu di-unmute itu. Sekarang kamu lagi mute, kita nggak dengar ngomong apa. Oke, thank you.
Right.
Mr. Chair, I apologize.
But I'm an interruption when I say there's only one.
Okay. Just one moment. Just. We're gonna do this.
I gotta
we're
go.
gonna do this.
Great. Have a great day. I have to go.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Wade. Mr. Kelly, what we will do, we will attempt.
Pardon me, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt. Are we on the record? Because you had set off the record and so I
Off the record,
stopped.
yes. Now we're going to go back on for Ms.
you.
Anthony Asiatis regarding her, she made a statement. I'd asked the interpreter did we lose the appellant?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Wade, is there a phone number for that appellant? And what we will do is continue this. Daisy, if you can be patient, and Miss Athanasiadis, if you also be patient, and see if we can reconnect and complete the hearing. Your witness, if he has to leave, you've already put his testimony on the record, correct?
He did, Chairman Woodson. I would just ask him to be on standby depending on what is presented by the appellant.
Okay.
If necessary to rebut any of their testimony.
Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue this for the moment, move on to another matter, try to get those done. If Mr. Wade can make any positive contact with the appellant, we'll resume. Okay?
Thank you, Chairman Woodson. Yes.
Okay. All righty.
Mr. Chair, just
sir.
make sure that we all are clear. Daisy is going to stay on, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. She's going to stay around.
Okay.
Yep. What we will then do.
I'll be here.
Okay.
I'm
Okay. We won't need you for a moment. So let's move on then to number 6.
Well, there was a request for case 26. There's witness availability and it's an intent to cease.
Oh, it is? Okay. Okay, let's move on to that one then.
Okay, case number 26, hearing appeal ending 0424, 3386 Red Line Road, Cynthia Hadaway.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'm going to recuse myself. I will keep my computer on, and should the case with respect to Darien Street resume, I will come back on since I have heard all the testimony and would like to be able to complete my participation. But
Okay.
I'm going to recuse myself from any further hearings this afternoon.
Okay, so noted for the record. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, also if I may, I would be handling case number 6 that was listed.
And you are?
And 7. This is Melanie Nezich for the City of Philadelphia Water
Okay.
Department.
Yes.
I also have witnesses waiting on the line. I did not see the appellant's names. I'm just wondering if the next case that's going to be called could be handled in 30 minutes, or how we should deal with my witnesses who have childcare and work obligations outside of this hearing.
Already? Just for a moment now, you're suggesting that your witnesses
all
are
the
not
time.
present
I
The
believe that
appellant,
the
I do not
appellants
see
are
the
not
appellant.
present.
for either case?
My witnesses are here and ready, but
I'm
they,
sorry, I misunderstood. I misspoke. The appellants are not present, is what you're
I
saying. For either case.
believe so. If we could call for them and maybe
Mr.
just
Well, if
call
they
it.
aren't, if they are not present, we can then dispose of it that way. If they are present, and we will need to continue with 26, and if you lose your witness, we'll have to continue the matter.
And that's totally fine with me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Wade, can you confirm whether or not the appellants for 6 and 7 are present?
Case number 6, hearing appeal ending 3903, 8615 Glenlock Street, Michael Brown. I don't see anyone unidentified in the waiting room, and service was made to that name.
Okay, your preference then, Ms. Nash?
City affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm
Yeah.
back because I heard the request. It is 4:00 p.m.
4:00 p.m. We will call the vote on HA 2023-003-903-8615 Glenlock Street, Michael Brown. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair, just to be correct on the time, I got 4:06. Mr. Pincus, could you check your
I will correct it to 4:06 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go
Case
to the next.
7, hearing appeal ending 3749, 1070 North 46th Street, Shamala Robinson, check service. I don't see anyone under that name in the waiting room,
Okay, your preference?
and service was made.
Okay, thank you.
Same chairman, city affirmed for lack of appearance.
It is
Okay, time we have, Mr.
4:07
Pincus?
It's
4:07?
4:07 PM.
4:07. We'll call the vote on HA 2023-003749 1070 North 46th Street. Shamla Robinson, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Affirm for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Okay, thank you very much. Now you may, you excuse and your witnesses are excused as well.
Thank you, esteemed board members.
Yep, let's move to 26.
We're calling case 26-0424-3386 Red Line Road, Cynthia Hadaway.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Leonard F. Reuter, Senior Attorney for the City of Philadelphia, and I'm here with Inspector Aisha Battle.
Okay, alrighty, and the appellant is Cynthia Hadaway. Is Cynthia Hadaway present?
She is. She's muted.
Okay. If you can unmute her or ask her to unmute, that would be helpful. Cynthia Hadaway. Okay, Mr. Wade, anything you can do to unmute this?
She was unmuted and on video prior when we were on executive session.
Oh, I think I see someone now.
Yeah.
Ms. Hadaway, unmute yourself, please. Ms. Hadaway, you're muted.
I don't believe that's Mrs. Hadaway.
Yes, there's
Someone-
from what I can see, there are two people present. Ms. Hadaway is the one that was holding the phone that has the mask pulled down. Ms. Hadaway, could you please unmute yourself the way you did it before?
I'm sending them the prompt.
Thank you. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, Cynthia Hadaway.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, we'll need you sitting in a stationary position, and so I can swear you in so we can get started, okay?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Also, Inspector Battle, raise your right hand so you may be sworn. And Inspector Battle, you're muted, so please unmute. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God? Ms. Holloway?
Yes.
Miss Inspector Battle?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Rudder, please proceed.
Sure. Just to kind of like tee this up quickly as I can, because I don't think it's a complicated matter. This involves a violation at the property at on Red Lion Road. The violation itself, there's no record that the violation was appealed, and there has been a cease operations that was issued to both the property owner and the occupant who is affected, which would be Ms. Hadaway. So the owner didn't appeal the violations or the notice of intent to cease. We have a tenant who's living in the property. She has appealed the cease notice and is asking for more time. Unfortunately, as you will hear, the city can't agree to give more time than has already been provided by virtue of taking this appeal. And with that, I can, otherwise we would have just agreed. So I'm going to have Inspector Battle testify now.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Battle, could you just state your name for the record?
Inspector Battle, Philadelphia License and Inspections.
And your first name? And spell
Aisha
it.
Battle, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Now, Ms. Battle, what do you do for the department?
I am a fire inspector for the Department of License and Inspections.
Okay, and in the course and scope of your duties as a fire inspector, did you become familiar with the property located at 3386 Red Lion Road?
Yes.
And did you go out to the property yourself?
Yes, I
Some point?
did.
Okay, and was that back in January initially?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and why did you go out to the property? Had you received, was some complaint or something?
Yes, there was a complaint that came in regarding a heat issue at the property.
Okay. And to the best of your recollection, do you know who, and normally we wouldn't ask this, but in this case, I think it's relevant. Do you know who made that complaint?
The complaint was made by the tenant, Miss Cynthia.
Ms. Cynthia Hadaway?
Yes,
Okay. So in response to that complaint, you went out to the property, and I believe we indicated that that was probably in January. Does it sound
Yes.
like that was probably January 24th?
yes.
Okay. And at the time you went out to the property, were you able to meet with Ms. Hadaway at that time?
Not the first inspection. On the second inspection, when I came to bring the intent paperwork, she was actually there.
Okay. And do you remember what date that was?
Yes, it was. I apologize. All
That's
my
okay.
screens
And
had.
I can, if I can share my screen.
I am sorry.
No, I can share my screen. Let me see if that's okay with the board.
Yeah, sure. Please do.
It's up here. Should close all these. There we go. All right. Can everybody see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. And Inspector Battle, do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what is this?
That is the enforcement document for the notice of intent to cease operations for the basement unit that Mrs. Hadaway is currently occupying.
Okay. And this notice of intent to cease is for the occupant?
That is correct.
Okay. And one like this was also provided to the owner?
Yes.
Okay.
The
So,
owner was actually who was there the first time I came.
okay. So at the time you went out to issue this intent to cease, was this intent to cease issued January 23rd?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And at that, so let me get back to the original violation. What was the violation that led to the cease notice being issued?
The violations was for occupying prohibited space.
Okay. And when you say prohibited space, what space was being occupied that was prohibited at this property?
The basement.
Okay. And why is that space prohibited at this property?
As there's only one exit that you cannot travel right out to the outside from, as well as it being in the mechanical area where the heater and different things like that. Zoning has to be obtained in order to occupy that space.
Okay. So what you're saying is there is no zoning permit allowing occupancy of the basement at this property.
That is correct.
Okay. Is it currently authorized to have, what is the current zoning for the property? Is it single family, two family, multi?
It's a two-family. It's an R2.
Okay. So the two families that share this property, those two families can't live in the basement. Is that correct?
That is correct. If the property is being rented, no, they cannot occupy the basement.
Okay. So the Ms. Hadaway, who is residing in the basement, would be a third unit at the property.
That is correct.
Okay, which would make it not a two-family, but a multi-family property.
Yes, sir.
And in addition to that, because it's changed from a two-family property to three-family property, does that also constitute a change of occupancy?
Yes, it does.
And then that would require other sorts of permits to ultimately be obtained?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now at the time you went to the property, either the first or the second time, were you able to go to the basement and actually view the unit itself?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And with the board's indulgence, if you just give me a sec, I'm going to try to pull up a couple documents here, which I had up, and then everything disappeared. I'm going to just show really just a couple photos here. I'm going to share my screen again. All right, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, now just Inspector Battle, Can you just identify what this shows?
This is the front of the property.
Okay. And this is the property in question, 3386.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why those are not linked. Just a sec. And I'm going to show you one other photo, and this is really probably going to be the last document I'm going to show here. What does this photo show?
That is the storage of paint thinners, flammable, that are stored around the heater. And her room is to the left of that.
Okay. And when you say she has a room, was the basement fitted out for living space, or was she just?
No, it was not.
So she's basically got a bed or something that's just in the basement and she's sleeping there?
So the owner put a door up to, I guess this was like another, just a space in the basement. So he put a door up for her to have a private area in the basement.
Okay. And is there a kitchen in the basement?
It is no kitchen in the basement.
Is there a bathroom in the basement?
There is a bathroom in her room.
Okay. Is that what you might call a half bath?
Yes.
So it's just a toilet
And a sink.
and a
is
sink,
what's-
but there's no shower or bathtub.
I did not see one just because I didn't get all the way into the room.
Okay. Now based upon your inspection of the conditions at the property, 3386 Red Lion Road, is this basement space suitable for habitation?
It is not a habitable space for human.
Right. And would you say it's unsafe for Ms. Holloway to continue staying there?
Yes.
Okay. And is that because of the paint and the other supplies that are down there?
Correct. And I do believe I did see cooking appliances in the room.
Is there a direct means to leave the basement? Is there a way to get from the basement directly to the outside?
No, there isn't.
So to get out of the basement space, she would have to go through the rest.
She has to come, yes, she has to come out of her room, up the set of steps, out the inside door, then out to the outside.
Okay, so that would be, do those stairs lead into a hallway, or do they just?
Yes.
Okay, and that's a hallway that, but she has no direct means of egress to exit the fire. I mean, to
No.
exit the property. And is that itself also a danger in the event that there's a fire or some other hazardous event?
Yes, because there also aren't any full-size windows. They're all just the small windows.
Okay, so it just has like the small, like basement type casement windows.
Yes.
Okay. So she could, and those are not appropriate for fire access, is that
They
right?
are not.
Okay. So I don't have any further questions for Inspector Battle.
Okay. Let's see, Miss Holloway, do you have any questions for Inspector Battle?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So that's the city's case. I'll just conclude by saying, based upon the testimony provided by Inspector Battle, and the fact that this appeal, I think, was filed on February 2nd. The expedited request was made, I think, February 5th or thereabouts. There have been 2 weeks. I know it's not ideal. I know it's an unfortunate situation, but it's the city's position that it's in the best interest of Ms. Holloway that she leave the property. And Inspector Battle can verify this if you need her to, but the city would provide some assistance from Office of Homeless Services and other city agencies to help relocate her, even on a temporary basis if we needed to do that.
Okay, let's hear from Ms. Holloway. I want to have her, since it's her appeal. Ms. Holloway, you submitted the appeal. What is your understanding of what's going on?
I understand everything. I was just asking for more time.
Oh, okay. So have you taken action since this whole thing started to find another place to
Yes.
live?
Yes, I have been. Yes, I've been working on things.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Question, Mr. Chair?
There's a Samsung that just came on. That person should be muted. I'm not sure who that is. Mr. Wade, so if you can take care, thank you. Okay,
Mr. Chair, a quick question.
yes.
Ms. Holloway, have you had any conversations with Inspector Battle concerning those programs that might be available to you?
No.
I would suggest that you have a conversation with her, if, of course, Mr. Inspector Battle is open to that, because I think she might can give you a lot of help.
Uh-huh. I hear you.
If I can, I would just like to ask one or two questions of Ms.
Yes,
Holloway.
please.
Ms. Holloway, are you currently in the basement of 3386 Red Lion Road?
Yes.
Okay. It appears that there is someone else with you. Do you live with another person as well at that property?
No, I live by myself there. I was living by myself.
Okay. And are there any children with you?
No.
Okay, so you still live there by yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So I have no further questions.
I did ask Ms. Holloway, are you related to any of the other people who live in the building?
No, he's renting it out to them. No relations. He's renting it. That's how
Okay.
I come about him in the Daily News. He said he had a place for rent and everything was all that. That's what.
You are muted again, Ms. Holloway. Ms. Holloway, please unmute. Ms. Holloway's, I'm not please unmute, Ms. Holloway. Mr. Wade, I don't know if you can help at all.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay, Ms. Holloway, you were muted there for a moment. Okay, how long have you lived there?
Well, I've been living there since 2022.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, anyone else have any questions?
I have a question for Inspector Battle. Inspector Battle, you said you met at the property with the owner of the property?
Yes,
And was the initial complaint for no heat? I just want to verify that.
yes,
Was there heat at the property when you inspected with the owner?
yes,
And he was aware of the Ms. Holloway living in the basement?
yes.
Is there any particular reason why you were not able to go further or deeper into the space that Ms. Holloway occupied
I was not allowed.
by the owner or the occupant?
When I first went by the owner, because there was a padlock on the door and he didn't have access to that. When I
Okay.
came back the second time, Ms. Holloway was there, but I was not allowed entry into her actual space.
Okay. Thank you very much, Inspector.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's nothing else, anyone, we'll call the vote on this matter. HA-2024-000-424-3386 Red Lion Road, Cynthia Holloway, City Affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed 90-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed.
City Affirmed. Okay, thank you. We have there's 1, 2, 3, 4. City Affirmed, which means Ms. Holloway, you've lost your appeal. 4 City Affirmed, 1 person voted 90-day stay of enforcement. Ms. Holloway, and the city should discuss the most appropriate way forward in terms of allowing her to move into another place or providing assistance. Ms. Holloway, if you want to appeal our decision, you can do that. And if you need information about how to do that, please call the office. On that letter, there's a phone number, and they can tell you how to appeal a decision of the board. Thank you very much. Is there anything else from anyone?
No, so when I have to be out of there?
You can work that out with Ms. Battle. And Ms. Battle, are you the person or someone else is handling this?
There will be someone else, but Ms. Holloway, I will contact you. I'll give you the resources and information you need.
Okay, you have my number.
Yes, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You're excused for today, Ms. Battle.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Wade, did we reconnect with our previous case?
Yes, we did.
Okay. We're gonna recall it so we can see what we can do about this.
Recall case 5, hearing appeal ending 3773 2538 South Darien Street. Our Grandy Wardani.
Yeah, they done. They said
Okay.
I
Would you?
They are in a car, I believe.
Yeah, but you to. Would you, Miss Hardaway? Would you mute her, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I think we're back on the record then for this previously called matter. And at the moment when everything ended, Ms. Wardani had a witness who was testifying as to what he observed. So we have our interpreter back. So Ms. Daisy, would you go back on the record with us and ask Ms. Wardani how she wants to proceed?
Mr.
Okay,
Chair, they riding in the car.
It will, and they'll have to, yes, absolutely. Before you do that, Ms. Daisy, explain to them that they cannot be driving. They have to be parked in a safe place before we proceed.
Kamu, Bu Wardani, kamu di mobil ya? Halo? Bu
She's
Wardani?
muted. She's muted.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Iya,
Kamu lagi di mobil?
dia antar itu tadi Miss Jeb ke rumah sakit, dia harus surgery. Dia butuh
Okay.
teleponnya.
Yes, she took the guy that was previously with her earlier to go to the hospital to get the appointment for the surgery.
Okay, but for the hearing to proceed, they must be parked. They cannot be moving.
Kamu nggak boleh naik mobil. Kamu harus berhenti.
Ya, sebentar lagi sampai 5 menit.
Sampai di rumah.
Bisa di mobil, bisa kan?
Nggak boleh naik mobil. Kamu harus berhenti, parkir atau sampai rumah.
Oke, saya parkir dulu ya.
Okay, will you able to give me 5 minutes? I'll be home in 5 minutes.
Nggak bisa parkir Pak di sini, parkir aja.
Okay, let me park. Hold on, let me park.
Mr. Chairman, I'm back on the video on Zoom.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you for getting back.
Ada truk sampah di depan. Sebentar.
Okay.
Ya, continue. Saya yang bicara.
There is a trash truck in front of me. Hold on. Maaf Bu, tadi kan masalahnya belum selesai bicara dengan saksi matanya. Jadi kita mengambil dari kita waktu tutup tadi.
Ya.
Okay.
So
I'm talking right now. I can't talk right now. I don't drive. I can't talk.
Ya, sekarang udah parkir nih.
Oh, I already parked.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay, continue, Mbak Desi.
Okay.
All right, you may proceed.
Okay, Ms. Wardani, the individual who was your witness, is he still available?
Tadi saksi matamu masih ada? Masih?
Ya, ada ini di samping saya.
Yeah, it's right next to me.
Okay, already. Ms. Athanasiadis, I think you were had a line of questioning for the witness.
Yes, Chairman Woodson.
Tadi kan saya menanyakan tentang ke saksi matanya.
Sir, you indicated you were present on site on August 2nd, 2023?
Yes, I do.
Kamu mengatakan kamu ada di sana tanggal 2 Agustus 2023.
Yeah.
And the Philadelphia Water Department employee showed you the leak that was in the street, correct?
Tadi kan ditunjukkan, kamu boleh jawab kalau kamu mau jawab. Saya cuma menjelaskan kepada Ibu Wardani saja. Tadi dia menunjukkan bocornya di jalan.
Iya.
Tapi bukan punya kita, bilang. Ring.
It's not mine. I'm
And,
sorry.
And sir, from August to today, has a plumber been contacted regarding the notice of defect that was issued on August 2nd, 2023?
Mulai dari
Uh,
bulan Agustus sampai sekarang ini apakah ada plumber yang dipanggil untuk mengatasi kerusakan itu?
yes, we do call the plumber on the day it's happening. Like asking nicely to the guy the name was Freddy, and then I asked nicely to Freddy, Mr. Freddy, can you give me like a half an hour until my friend plumbing come in? And he say, no, we gotta close it. We gotta close the road. We gotta close the road. That's what he said. So I gotta also like recording video when the road is already. So by the time my friend plumbing come in, they already closed the road.
Jadi dia cuma mau menceritakan masalahnya waktu dia minta plumbernya datang, ternyata jalannya sudah ditutup. Dia minta setengah jam, tapi tidak diberi waktu. Tapi kan sudah ditutup setelah plumbernya datang.
Dan dia punya permit. Dan saya ada plumbernya itu.
Miss Daisy, please advise Ms. Wardani, she can't speak out of turn that way. We need to ask and respond to direct questions.
Maaf Bu Wardani, jangan bicara dulu. Kalau ini waktunya saksi mata berbicara, jadi Ibu Wardani cukup mendengarkan saya menjelaskan apa yang dikatakan saja. Oke, nanti waktu. Oke.
Ms. Anthony Asanis, you have any further questions?
One last question, Chairman. And from that date to the present, neither you nor Ms. Wardani has contacted a plumber to come make a repair. Is that correct?
Sejak kamu datang itu mulai dari orang water datang sampai sekarang bulan Agustus, sampai sekarang tidak ada plumber yang datang untuk membetulkannya.
What happened is we try to, because we don't know, it's never happened to us before. So what we do is we go to the city of Philadelphia water department, right? And then they send us to Aramingo Avenue to get a help loan or something, because it's like a sudden, we got to pay like $2,000, and we don't really have the, financial availability right at that time. So we're looking for some help. We call everybody and then.
Okay, wait. The interpreter has to interpret.
Oke. Jadi dia menceritakan, anakmu ini menceritakan kalau dia sudah menelpon bagian BWD, minta bantuan, minta pinjaman karena uangnya tidak ada selama beberapa ribu dolar untuk memperbaikinya.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Interpreter, you have to interpret.
Boleh nggak saya berbicara? Dia mau berbicara, menyela sebentar.
I do not believe the question that Ms. Athanasiadis asked was answered.
Saya tidak percaya kalau tadi pertanyaannya masalah yang tukang ledeng itu datang dijawab.
Mr. Sir, have you attempted to hire a plumber to make the repair?
Apakah kamu pernah memanggil tukang ledeng itu untuk memperbaikinya?
No,
Apakah kamu pernah berusaha?
We call the help loan.
Okay.
Saya memanggil bagian penolongan untuk peminjaman uang.
Ms. Athanasiadis, is that sufficient answer? Is that?
It's unresponsive, Chairman Woodson. So you have not contacted your friend, the plumber that you contacted in August, or any other plumber to come.
Oh no, that's. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's when it's happening. Yeah, we do call the plumber, and then when he came.
Dan itu dia memanggil tukang ledeng. Dan dia datang.
Yes, and he we asked how much we gotta pay to him, the friend plumbing,
and
the plumber.
Berapa,
yes, and he got permit. He got permit and everything.
Menunjukkan surat izinnya juga.
Yes, and then the number that he offer us to pay is like a lot.
Dan waktu itu katanya uangnya banyak sekali.
Yes, so he said if you cannot afford this, then you gotta call the help loan. That's what he said. He told me.
Nah, dia mengatakan untuk menelpon help loan, untuk meminta pinjaman, minta tolong. Dia mengatakan itu.
And you said he obtained the permit?
Dan waktu itu dia sudah meminta surat izin atau?
Belum. Not yet, but he said in order to fix the problem, he said he need to get a permit for the city, from the city, to dig out again the stream and close the road and all the stuff. He's saying.
Itu katanya dia harus minta izin dari kota untuk menutup jalan, menggali lubang dan semuanya dulu.
Since the hole is already like they already closed the hole, that's why he gotta ask for the permit from the city to reopen it back and fix the problem. But it's
Karena
a lot of money.
masalahnya jalannya sudah ditutup dan itu uangnya banyak sekali.
Okay.
So, one more, Chairman. So you acknowledge that the notice of defect was rightfully issued, is that correct? And you're trying to repair?
Jadi kamu mengatakan bahwa itu surat peringatannya itu benar dari kota dan kamu masih berusaha untuk menjalaninya?
Yes, we do a lot of effort to, because since it's signed by Mr. Daly, I guess. So we got the defect note on the same day. After we wait like a half an hour, Mr. Daly come in and show us the paper. But since then, we do whatever we can to get the help from the city, help loan. We go to the tax and review board, and Mr. Jimmy that just now in the hospital, he was the one who help us to where to go to get help.
Jadi dia cuma menceritakan bahwa selama ini dia sudah berusaha untuk menelpon sana sini, beritanya gitu saja. Jadi saya harus menjelaskan kepada ibu, meskipun ibu mengerti, tapi tugas saya tetap harus menjelaskan. Maaf. Jadi ceritanya dia cuma saya sudah menelpon sana sini dan Mr. Jimmy itu tadi yang banyak membantu ibu, membantu menunjukkan jalan-jalannya, apa yang harus dilakukan.
No further questions for this witness at this time, Chairman Woodson.
Mr. Chair, may I have a follow-up question to the last question?
Yeah, she just has to interpret what was just said by Ms. Athanasiadis.
Sudah tidak ada pertanyaan lagi dari yang perempuan Miss Athanasiadis.
Okay. Ms. Washington?
Yes, just to follow up on the last question. So do you agree that the repair is still needed?
Udah tahu.
Apakah kamu sudah dia mengikuti Mr. Washington ini melanjutkan pertanyaan yang terakhir. Apakah kamu setuju bahwa perbaikan itu masih harus dilakukan?
Oh iya.
Yes, we need the water on.
Saya sakit.
Because
cucu saya sakit.
Ini yang ditanya saya mah.
Oh iya.
No, but do you agree that the repair is still needed?
Yes.
Apakah kamu percaya bahwa masih harus diperbaiki?
Yes, we need help here.
No more question.
Okay. Is there anything else before we vote on this matter?
I'm sorry, sir. Let me add one thing. Until now, we don't have any water coming in the house.
Okay.
Sampai saat ini tidak ada air yang sudah datang.
Because the one that water department closed is the one in main on the street. It's not on the curb. It's like in the middle of the street, closer to 2541.
Understood. Yep.
And I believe if you can help, like it's supposed to be like, like the water department, maybe you can help us to do it.
No, the board doesn't do that. Our only job is to hear your appeal and to decide whether or not the violation notice was issued properly. That's what we do.
Jadi itu tugas kami ini di sini menentukan apakah betulkah itu surat itu dikeluarkan secara sah dan secara benar. Tugas kami di sini itu adalah itu.
Now, have you completed your application for the help loan?
Apakah kamu sudah mengompletkan aplikasimu untuk help loan
itu? I think we're about to the last hearing we went to in the tax review board that they're gonna give us like some payment plan for both, for the bills and for the help fix the help loan, fix the pipe.
Tapi belum.
But we don't have any payment plan yet. We're still waiting.
What is the tax review?
I'm sorry. Would you like me to interpret that to Ms. Mardani?
Yes, please.
Okay. Itu tadi dia cuma mengatakan bahwa mereka sudah mendapatkan, kamu sudah mendapatkan payment plan, tapi belum ada uangnya. Dia sudah menelpon tax review board dan juga sudah menghubungi bagian water untuk meminta bantuan supaya diperbaiki.
Okay, what does the tax review board have to do with you applying for the help loan?
Apakah yang kamu harus hubungannya antara board ini dengan kamu nge-apply di help loan?
Because the last hearing, before she was what do you call that?
Are you tax delinquent? You hadn't paid your taxes?
No, the water she got like
Yang plumbingnya itu.
no, the water she got bills too. So in order to get the help loan, she got to do the payment plan for the bill first.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean, sir? Yes.
Yes, I understand. You
And
have an
Mr.
outstanding,
Jimmy,
you have an outstanding water bill.
yes.
Jadi waktu airnya belum dibayar, kamu jadi harus diselesaikan dulu pembayarannya itu sebelum bisa mendapatkan bantuan.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
And
so
one
I'm
last
clear,
question.
Mr. Chair, just so I'm clear here. He's not speaking about his address, right? We're talking
Well,
about
that's my question to him.
2578.
That's my question to him. Sir, do you live at this address yourself?
Kamu tinggal di alamat situ enggak?
Yes.
Yeah. So he also lives there. Okay. And your relationship to Miss Wardani?
Hubunganmu apa dengan Ibu Wardani?
The husband.
You're the husband to Miss Wardani?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. Any further questions from anyone?
Ada pertanyaan lagi enggak dari semuanya yang akan ditanyakan?
Saya, boleh.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ya, bagaimana saya secepatnya harus bisa itu karena beda antara yang digger sama yang tengah sama apa namanya water beda perbedaannya. Jadi saya mau yang buat city buka itu dulu gitu supaya airnya karena saya nggak ada problem airnya nggak dimatiin cuma dari senternya itu. Jadi kita udah berapa bulan saya dibantu sama tetangga. Saya punya surat-surat semua, anak saya sakit, cucu saya sakit, itu di approve dari saya sendiri baru keluar dari hospital. Jadi saya dibantu sama tetangga sebelah. Jadi saya mesti gimana gitu loh. Pokoknya ini dibuka lagi yang di tengahnya itu gitu loh.
The problem is my water doesn't get shut off. The water in my house it wouldn't get shut off. The problem is like the city shut the water out from shut the water off from the main pipe, like the main line on the middle of the street. So right now I already got a proof of and everything, and right now I really don't have any water, and my grandchildren is sick, and the neighbor is actually helping me with the water. I want to know how. I just got out from the hospital myself, and I just want to know how can I get that fixed so I can get my water back. And right now, I still don't have any answer for that. I don't know what to do.
Okay. The board doesn't have an answer for that. I would recommend that you call the water department. It sounds like you've already done that to help and get the help loan. You may also want to check with your local city council person. There may be some social services available through your council office. But the board itself doesn't have any information in that regard.
Untuk masalah dari boardnya ini tidak ada jawaban untuk itu karena saya tidak tahu apa yang harus dilakukan. Yang saran saya kamu menghubungi PWD, tetapi kelihatannya kamu sudah menghubungi PWD. Dan juga kalau kamu mau menghubungi City Council yang ada, mungkin mereka ada bantuan sosial yang bisa dibantu untuk kamu sebelum mereka memberikan keputusan tentang hasil aplikasi kamu dan kamu yang apply ini. Coba kamu hubungi City Council kamu mungkin bisa mendapatkan bantuan sosial dari mereka.
Untuk yang mana? Untuk yang bantuan yang mana? Yang
pipanya atau?
Ya, untuk yang di ini
untuk
saya
betulin pipanya dulu, Mbak. Yang penting air
itu gitu.
Supaya airnya bisa ngalir dulu gitu loh. Gimana caranya? Ada.
Ya buat di diggernya bagaimana? Jadi solusinya ini kita hearing ini sekarang apa? The point-nya apa yang gitu?
For now, I'm actually doing the hearing right now. Is actually I was hoping that you guys can help me. Well, will you be able to let me know? The problem for me, okay, I will do the repair. But can I get my water back? But the problem is just because the water is not shut off from the house, from in front of my house, but it's from the main line, and that's the problem that I cannot get water. But right now, I really need water first.
Yeah, understood.
And then,
yeah, Ms. Athanasiadis, what is your response to that request and how?
Chairman Whitson, I can recall Mr. Daly, but just as a matter of course, because there's a health and safety concern, as Mr. Daly previously testified, because of the leak, as it was going into other people's cellars, that leak continuously would undermine the street. It was a safety concern, which is why their water service was disconnected. And until the repair is made, that water service cannot be reconnected and reinstated until that repair is made. There's a safety
Problem itu masalahnya masalah keamanan. Jadi kita tidak bisa menyalakan airnya sampai pipanya itu dibetulkan dulu. Karena kalau banjirnya itu cuma menuju ke rumahmu saja, itu tidak akan menjadi masalah besar. Problemnya airnya itu masuk ke rumah orang lain dan masuk ke dalam basementnya dan itu adalah tidak aman. Jadi kita tidak akan bisa mengkonekkan pipanya kembali, menyambungkan pipanya kembali sampai pipanya yang rusak itu dibetulkan.
Iya, kapan? Harus bagaimana? Saya kan nggak tahu.
We already did submit application for the help loan and for the payment plan. So, but until now we don't have anything anything like the response, any response like quick, because it's been like you can count from August, September, October, November, December, January. This is like 6 months. It's really stressing. Yes. She went to the emergency department for 2 times. One for the because it's so stressing,
Yep.
Imagine
We
you live
understand,
without water. Yes.
Yep, but that isn't what we do. We can't respond to that issue. So that's why you would want to speak with someone at your local community center and or your elected official, your city council person, maybe to help with providing resources to help you.
Yes, sir.
Coba kamu hubungin city council kamu. Kalau mereka mungkin bisa memberikan bantuan yang lebih lagi untuk kamu. Kalau kamu tidak menghubungi water department, PWD, dan ternyata kamu tidak ada kabarnya, sudah sebegini lama, kamu coba hubungin city council kamu. Mungkin mereka bisa membantu kamu lebih. Dan mereka akan bisa memberikan sumber-sumber yang lain. Do you have any number for the city council, sir? Yohanan?
No, I do not. That's you should be able to Google it and city council person for your area. They should be able to help you. I don't have that information. No.
Saya nggak punya nomornya, tapi kalau kamu coba Google,
Okay.
masukkan city council person, City of Philadelphia. Nanti mungkin keluar. Ya.
Okay.
Di situ ada nomor teleponnya.
Can I get one more question, sir? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have to move on. We have other cases. Is there a short question?
Yes. Okay. I just hoping like we can benefit something, because we've been 8 months running around from tax review board, help loan, all the things that we can do to help, but nothing's response, And this is the last resource. We wait for the payment plan and the help loan. I mean, if you put yourself 7 months, you gotta take bucket by bucket water, fill up into your toilet, and then you flush it in, and you fill it up again. I mean,
yes, sir. I understand that, but that isn't something that the board can respond to. We can't do anything about that. All we can do today is determine whether or not the city acted properly when they wrote the violation notice and shut your water off. That's all we're here to do.
Yes, because we were happy when
Wait.
Wait,
Let
wait,
the
wait.
interpreter speak. Let the interpreter speak.
And then we will
I'm
vote.
sorry.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Daisy?
Dia tadi itu cuman untuk menyatakan kita nggak punya data-datanya itu, tapi tujuanmu ke sini saya mengerti. Kamu tujuannya ke sini untuk meminta jawaban dari sidang ini. Tetapi mereka itu tujuannya untuk menentukan apakah city itu kota ini PWD melakukan hal yang benar dengan menutup airmu dan memberikan surat itu. Tujuannya cuma ini saja. Di sini tidak bisa membantu kamu masalah pembantuan masalah pinjaman uang dan payment plan-nya, semua yang kamu katakan itu mereka tidak punya hak untuk itu. Jadi mereka itu di sini cuma menentukan apakah orang-orang yang menggali jalan itu melakukan tindakan yang benar. Itu saja.
Nggak benar.
Okay, we're going to
Salah
vote.
atau
It's
tidak.
no more testimony. We're closing the record for testimony. We've now called a vote on HA 2023-003773. Ms. Daisy, you're muted. Please interpret.
Oke, kita sekarang akan menghitung suara tentang hasil hari ini. Apakah pelakuan yang dilakukan oleh Siti itu adalah benar?
2538 South Darien Street.
Mr. Chair, did you ask the city for its request on our vote?
We have
Apakah
voted
kamu
yet.
Chairman Woodson, if I may move the exhibits, I previously marked the exhibits, city exhibits 1 and 2 into the record. And I don't know if the board is going to entertain a brief closing statement.
Okay. Interpreter.
Dia cuma mau menanyakan ini tadi karena dari data-data yang ada dan bukti-bukti yang ada nomor 1 dan 2, apakah mereka mau mendengarkan pernyataan penutupan atau tidak, saya tidak tahu. Jadi dia cuma mengatakan itu dan mereka akan menghitung suara sekarang, tapi saya tidak mengerti apakah mereka akan mengadakan penutupan suara.
Okay, Ms. Anthony Nasiatis, your exhibits are moved into the record. Do you have any closing arguments?
Yes, Chairman Woodson. The city would ask.
Wait a minute. Wait. Interpreter.
Dia cuma menanyakan sama Mr. Adrianatis tadi, apakah ada suara penutup sebelum pernyataan penutup sebelum dihitung suaranya.
The city would ask that the board find city affirmed that the notice of defect was rightfully issued.
Dia meminta bahwa yang ada di ruang sidang ini menentukan bahwa tindakan kota ini sudah benar mengeluarkan surat perintah perbaikan dari yang ada kerusakan yang ada di pipa.
Mr. Daly credibly testified as to what led the city to that location.
Dan Mr. Daly juga sudah mengatakan dan menyatakan apa yang membuat mereka datang ke alamat itu.
Why the service was disconnected.
Dan kenapa servisnya diputus.
And the dangers involved in leaving that water service on.
Dan bahayanya apa kalau meninggalkan pipa itu menyala dan tidak diperbaiki.
Moreover, the property owner's husband who testified indicated he himself saw the leak that put on the notice of defect.
Dan kamu sudah mengatakan bahwa kamu sebagai suaminya melihat sendiri bahwa waktu terjadinya itu ditunjukkan ada kebocoran dan kamu sudah melihatnya.
And agreed that the repair needed to be made.
Dan setuju bahwa itu harus dibetulkan.
And that the notice was correctly issued.
Dan surat itu dikeluarkan secara benar.
And with that, the city would rest and ask that you find city affirmed.
Dan saya sudah mengajukan kasus ini sudah selesai.
Okay, thank you very much. We will call the vote on HA-2023-003773.
Saya memanggil penghitungan suara untuk kasus ini sekarang.
2538 South Darien Street.
2538 South Darien.
Wardani.
Untuk Wardani.
The vote is city affirmed.
Suara pertama, kota setuju.
My vote is city affirmed.
Dan yang kedua juga setuju.
City affirmed.
Dan ini juga setuju.
City affirmed.
Dan juga setuju.
The vote is city affirmed, which means that you lost your appeal.
Nah, jadi kamu naik bandingmu ini kalah. Kamu mengatakan mereka sudah menyetujui semua bahwa surat ini dikeluarkan secara benar dan sah.
Now, you may appeal our decision, call the office and on that number that's on the sheet, and they will tell you how you would do that.
Kalau kamu mau, kamu boleh naik banding lagi. Di notisnya itu, di surat notisnya itu, surat peringatannya itu kan ada nomor telepon yang kamu bisa telepon untuk menghubungi kalau kamu mau naik banding lagi jika kamu tidak setuju dengan keputusan ini.
I'm sorry that this has happened, but the water cannot be turned back on because of the danger it creates until the repair is made.
Kamu tahu berbahayanya air ini kalau dinyalakan sekarang, selain bisa menghancurkan jalan dan juga ke rumah tetangga. Jadi kita tidak bisa menyalakannya sampai perbaikan dilakukan.
Okay. Thank you very much. You excuse.
Okay. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Please explain to the Wardani that they may be, their case is over. They may be excused.
Oke, kamu boleh pergi sekarang, sudah boleh, kasusnya sudah selesai untuk hari ini, boleh ditutup. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Daisy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Ms.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
Miss.
day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Ms. Athanasiadis, is this the last matter? Or do you have another matter with us?
No, that is it, Chairman Woodson. I was just going to ask that I be excused, and if I may excuse my witness as well. Thank you.
Yes, please. Mr. Wade, do we have any other cases?
Case number 13.
Case
Mr.
number 13.
Chairman, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you on March 5th.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you. Good
Okay.
night.
Alrighty.
Excuse me, just to be clear, were we talking case 13 or case 14?
13.
Because I have Mark continue.
Case 13, hearing appeal 4212, 1828 Frankfurt Ave, Northeast Contractors Incorporated, doing business, Northeast Contractors.
Okay, who's handling that for the city?
Hi, this is Caroline Curley on behalf of the City of Philadelphia. And Board, I do believe you had previously addressed this matter, indicating that the appellant needed to retain an attorney because they were a corporate entity.
Yes.
I do feel bad because I do see Miss Lobanoff is still present here.
Yes, Ms. Lobanoff is not an attorney, and so she cannot represent this matter. And that was the instruction. Ms. Lobanoff, I believe that's what we discussed earlier today, correct?
Hi, I'm sorry. My name is actually Anna Tushev. I'm the owner of the company. And I just wanted to ask a continuance so I can get the lawyer.
Yes. Would you spell your last name, please?
It's Tushev, T-U-S-H-E-V.
Okay. Yes, you need an attorney because the company is a corporation, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we will continue this to allow you to get legal counsel.
Thank you so much. And I've been looking all day for the lawyer. Is there a specific lawyer I need to get because I couldn't find anybody?
We can't give you that advice. We're not in a position to do that. But the lawyer that handles corporate matters, business matters, should be sufficient. I'm not sure if anyone else has any information regarding that.
I would recommend that she reach out to the Philadelphia Bar Association. They may be able to make a referral rather, and find someone for her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, have a good afternoon. What's the next?
And then,
Ma'am, we have to move on. Ma'am, no. Ma'am, we have to move on. You call the office if you have other procedural questions, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, do we have Ms. Curley? I guess that's you excuse if that's your last matter.
I think I have the next one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Case number 14.
Yes.
Case number 14, hearing appeal ending 4663, 2401 Walnut Street, Carl Massera.
Okay, who's handling that?
That's me, Caroline Curley, on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, Carl Massera. Carl Massera. No one's responding.
Service was made, and there's no one unidentified in the waiting room.
Okay, Ms. Curley, what's your preference?
The city would ask for a city affirm based on non-appearance.
Okay, Mr. Tennant, what time do you have?
5:01 p.m.
5:01 p.m.
Yes.
Already. We will pull the board on HA-2022-004663-2401 Walnut Street, Carl Massera, city affirm non-appearance.
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 Okay, thank you very much. we do have one additional matter, I believe.
Two.
Two? Okay, what would be that? What are those?
24, I don't believe 24 is present. And then we were gonna we would recall the Christopher Ming doing business as Rosell Choice. You want me to
Okay.
call 24 so we can excuse the attorney and the
Yes,
witness?
let's do that.
Case 24, hearing appeal ending 0090, 5625 Sprague Street, Excel Development LLC. And I didn't confirm service yet.
Okay. Who's representing the city while he's checking on service? No one's representing the city in this matter?
I apologize. I am having a technical issue. I am trying to resolve it.
Okay, Michelle Reinhardt, is that
I
correct?
apologize. Yes, Michelle Reinhardt for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, we're checking service, but there's been no response from Excel.
Service
Development.
was made, sorry.
Okay, we confirm service. What is your preference?
The city requests city affirm for non-appearance.
Okay. We'll pull the board on, no, before we do that, Mr. Tender, what time do you have?
5:03 p.m.
5:03. We'll pull the board on HA-2023-000090 5625 Sprague Street, XL Development LLC, City Affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Affirm for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. That brings us to, I think, our last matter.
Our last matter, we're going to recall
Mr. Chair,
case.
I have on that, I think number 19, or that's what we talking about?
Yes.
That we dismissed it.
No, we decided to recall it because we gave the appellant opportunity to get the owner on the line. So we recalling. So recall that, Mr. Wade.
Case 19, hearing appeal ending 4477, 557 North 63rd Street, Christopher Ming doing businesses. Radicel Choice. I don't believe that you put the previous decision on the record. If you did, I don't know if you want to strike that.
Well, I think I struck it before. And so
Okay.
if I did not, we will strike the previous decision and recall the case, with give an opportunity for, Radicel Choice to be present and to make an argument before we decide whether to dispose of this matter.
Yeah, this is Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Yes.
And it doesn't appear that Mr. Ming has stayed on. I would renew my request that the case should be marked as city affirmed for lack of standing. Mr. Ming did not have standing to file the appeal, but also now a failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. You can, Mr. Wade, for purposes of the record, would you confirm service, please?
Service was made to Christopher Ming at 7536 Haverford Avenue.
Okay, thank
Who
you.
appeared.
Okay, thank you. Based on the representations of Mr. Christopher Johnson from the city, we will poll the board on HA 2023-004477